Start your show now, press 1.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Are we good? We are good. We are good. All right, let's do it then. Let's do it. Bam. All right, perfect. I don't know. Perfect's a strong word. Good enough. Hey, people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Hey, what's going on? How was your week? Pretty good. All right, cool. Living indoors, living above ground. These are good things. So I'd like to give a shout out to people on Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook. Tim Black's Wolfpack all the way around. The Wolfpack is in the house. Here we go. Wolfpack right here on this bottle right here. The Wolfpack. That's right. Join and become a member of the Wolfpack, the Tim Black Wolfpack. Do that on Patreon at patreon.com. Tim's Take Live for only $5 or more a month. You become a member of the crew, community. And we're building something, folks. Also, text me to join my VIP text group list, and you will qualify to get free stuff. And we do drawings, and we have cool stuff where I send out cool free stuff. And also, you're part, you get updates on stuff before other people. And it's free to join the text group. Just text the word cornbread 2, code 21,000. And yeah. Oh, and you want yourself a No Joe button? We'll talk about it later. I'll remind you later. But send me an email at tim@timblackTV.com, and I will, and with your address, I will mail you one of these on the house. Okay? That's right. Other channels sell their buttons. We give ours away. Because we crazy like that. You just cuckoo. All right, guys. So the phone number, let me put the phone number up real quick now. The phone number's up on the screen. And let me check and make sure people can hear. The email address is tim@timblacktv.com. That's tim@timblacktv.com. Booyah. Now, I'm hoping that I hope it doesn't cost a small fortune. A lot of people are responding, guys. Woo! People are responding like, so get these buttons while they last, y'all. I'm not playing. Get these buttons while they last. Okay, so, yeah. So we got a show lined up tonight. How Freedom Friday works is I do a little monologue. I get your juices running with a little bit of, something. I get you ready to talk by starting it off for you. And then we open up the phone lines and people from all over the world call in. And I say that because it's true. People from all over the country and outside the country, international, people just call up because they got stuff to talk about. And American politics affects everybody. So it's crazy that we got people that live in this country who says politics don't affect them. Yeah, people that live within the country say, who cares? It's all the same. Then they wake up 2 years from now, someone's grabbing them out their house and dragging them into a detention center. They're like, I didn't think it mattered. If I knew this, I wouldn't be in this dungeon. If I knew maybe it mattered who I... And I don't want that to happen to prove me right. I'm just saying it can happen. But I'm just saying it's crazy how there are people in the country who don't think voting matters. They think it's all for the birds. It's all rigged. What's the point? And then there's people outside the country like, what's going on in America? To the point where they're calling up, watching our news and being a part of the conversation. Somebody got it wrong, Johnson, is all I'm saying, Johnson. Or maybe they both got it a little right. A little. This is coffee with a little bit of topper on it. It's like a little foamy thing. I said, I'm going to treat myself to good coffee because I was always making my coffee wrong. So here's a secret to anybody who says, you know what, I want to step up my coffee game. I realized all my life, I've been burning my coffee. Whole life drinking burnt coffee. Coffee is supposed to be at a certain temperature. I had no idea. Like, if you get that part right, you kind of started on the way of, like, knowing what you're doing. And that's as far as I've gone. That's all I know. Right? National origin. I'm trying to learn these things. I teamed up with a couple coffee distributors in the last couple of years. The first one, they used my name, never paid me. They ran off. We like to work with progressives. We love your show, Tim. We're progressives. I was like, okay, great. I've been promoting it for months. Where's my check? Hello? Hello? People complain, like, where's the coffee that we paid for? Like, hey, I got people complaining about your coffee, your shipment. Hello? Hello? You're making me look bad. This is your operation. Screw you, Tim Black. We hate you, Tim Black. All right, so be careful who you do business with. That's all I'm trying to tell you. That being said, got a couple topics I'd like to get to without further ado. Without further to do. One other order of business. I had a good time in South Carolina. Met and talked with a lot of you guys. You guys are amazing. I be running into Tim Black Wolfpack people everywhere I go. I don't care if I go to Washington, D.C., I go downtown, because I'm in Maryland, 15 minutes from D.C. right now. Well, that's where I live. But when I go to D.C., like, I run into people all the time. Hell, I ran into people in Maryland. I was getting some crabs, like, last summer. A guy was like, hey, man, I don't mean to crowd your space, bro, but, you know, you Tim Black, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, man. Like his show. Me and my baby, we watch his show, bro. So, and that happens in D.C., but that happens a lot. Like, you can only imagine at a Bernie event. I went to like 4 Bernie events in South Carolina. Loads of people from the 10 Black Wolfpack. So shout out to everybody from the 10 Black Wolfpack that I ran into, man. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Shout out to the Washington Post, Dave Weigel. Shout out to Ari Melber. I always go the other way. Ari Melber from MSNBC. Rokana, Nina Turner. The great SNT, Tara Samples. The great, iconic Danny Glover, who agreed to come on the show. Just loads of Brianna Joy Gray and Angelo from the Bernie Here to Burn and the press secretary for Bernie Sanders 2020 campaign. Great people, great things, great times. Ben Dixon, B. Dix in the house. Okay. You guys all filed in now. We good? Okay, we good. Let's go. Let's go with this. Let's go with the show, guys. Can we do it? I want to start off with this. The DNC all but confirms next debate will include just Biden and Sanders. The next Democratic presidential debate is almost certain to feature just 2 candidates, Joseph Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders. No surprise, since everyone else except Representative Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii has dropped out of the race, but the DNC made it official Friday afternoon and released qualification guidelines for the party's March 15th debate in Phoenix. Now, to score an invite, the candidates will be required to have won at least 20% of the total number of pledged delegates in the 28 jurisdictions that will have held primaries and caucuses by debate day, or about 374 delegates each. Both Biden and Sanders have won over 500 delegates already each. Ms. Gabbard has won only 2. And she would need a drastic improvement in order to qualify. So let's talk about that, guys. Let's talk about this. All right, so regardless of how you feel about Tulsi Gabbard personally, regardless of how you feel about her, I don't know if you should feel anything about her personally unless you know her personally. So let me take that back. It's kind of kooky when we do that, right? Personally get mad at people we don't know. Okay, so regardless of how you feel about Tulsi Gabbard as a politician, or how you feel about her policy, or how you feel about her appearance on whatever platform or whatever she said that time that you didn't agree with. Or if you really like her, because you really like what she said, and even though you don't really know her, but you just get a sense that she's a really good person and she's a fighter for the people. Whatever you fall in the trajectory, in the calendar, on the wheel of fortune as it pertains to Tulsi Gabbard, let me say this. It's despicable that they would change rules just to be willy-nilly about who and what and where you can appear in a debate. It's a travesty that they pick and choose who the winners are. When you have a set of rules already laid out, she can just go with those rules, damn like the rest. That's what should happen. That's what should happen. Tulsi Gabbard should be up on that stage. Why? Because Tulsi Gabbard's still in the race. And she won some delegates. The rules were, originally, if I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me, the rules were if you won a delegate, even one, you qualify. And the reason why you qualify is because people voted for you. Yeah, you don't win delegates without getting votes. So Tulsi Gabbard got votes. That's Americans. And depending on what the primary was, it's most likely Democratic Party affiliated Americans who voted for Tulsi Gabbard. So why would you take that right from a candidate in good standing in your party who was under your charter, who ran the race, who abided by the rules? Why would you take that opportunity from that said individual, regardless of who it is? And what's the whole idea about all of a sudden everyone saying there's no one left in the race except old white guys? Now, I never met Tulsi Gabbard in person, but I followed her on Twitter a couple of years, and I can say one thing for sure. She ain't an old white guy. So if you really were concerned, Joy Behar, if you really were concerned, Rachel Maddow, if you really were concerned, Joy Reid, if you really were concerned about there being a lack of diversity, hell, there goes a couple of diversity departments right there. Couple boxes checked. There goes a woman, check. There goes a person of color, check. Oh, and veteran. There goes a active military person and a veteran. Check, check, check. Oh my God, we got 3 checks. 3 checks in a row, people. But see, my point of this rant is to tell you, the Democratic Party doesn't care if you check boxes for them unless you check boxes for them. Know what I'm saying? Like, they don't care if you're diverse or if you're of the right gender or orientation if you don't do what they want you to do. If your politics doesn't match their corporate establishment politics, then it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You are invisible. Tulsi Gabbard said it right there. They're like, gosh, I wish we had some guys. Wish we had somebody besides these old guys to run in this race. She's like, I'm standing right here. Gosh, man, I wish we could find another woman. Hello? Is this thing on? Hello? God, man, this is horrible. It's like a sausage factory up in here. This old sausage factory at that. Bunch of old white guys up on that stage. Wish we had some women that would kind of break up the monotony. I know the cost of war. Gosh, I guess we're just subjected to another year of misogyny, and it's horrific, and racist, white supremacist. This is ridiculous. We had one year what was different when we had a black guy, and now we're just right back to the white guys. By this time, Tulsi Gabbard start losing it, you know. I said I'm right here. I'm right here, you blind bastards. Right here. Woman, hear me roar. What's up? What up? That's what she'd have to do. They'd still be like, did you hear something? I think I heard somebody say something. I don't. She'd have to punch him in the eye with one of those, hit him in the eye with one of those bead things, the Hawaiian. I got an aloha for your ass. Punch Anderson Cooper right now. Go to commercial. Go to commercial. So they don't want her up on the stage, man, because they know what's going to happen. And could you imagine Tulsi Gabbard was in the debates, though? Can you imagine what would happen? Tulsi Gabbard would get up there and burst the whole thing, boy. She would upset the apple cart, man. Just apple cart thrown over. Apples all over the stage. And the Democratic Party is full of shit, and so are you. You too, Wolf Blitzer, you scumbag. And you too. And all of you know the cost of war because you cause wars. And you know a lot about regime change because you are a regime that needs to be changed. And it's what you're doing to the American people. You're not serving the American people. You're serving your own private interests, especially you, Joe Biden, with your painted on skin and your forgetfulness. You have dementia, Joe Biden. We can tell it. It's horrible. It's horrible. Bernie, you better stay on my good side. But you, Joe Biden, you, sir, are a laughingstock. You will be demolished by Trump, and you will be embarrassed. You will embarrass the entire country. You will embarrass everything that Western civilization stands for. That's what you would do. Boy, man, Tulsi Gabbard would be a force of nature up there. She got nothing to lose. Everything to gain. She said she's dropping out of politics. And her last official act, she could be up on the debate stage. Oh, my God. They're like that's like, that's like she's got the coordinates and the passwords to the server, and you're about to let her go. You got to just change those passwords before she gets in here. Can't leave her with the passwords. We're firing her. She knows she's being fired, and she's got the passwords to get in the server. She can destroy all the backups. All right. Now, all things, seriously speaking, though, guys, Tulsi Gabbard deserves better. She followed the rules. The rules were what they were. You don't get to change them. Well, guess who am I fooling? Of course you get to change them. The DNC said they're a private organization. They do whatever the hell they want to do, Johnson. And if they want to change the rules to allow a billionaire in who hasn't won a single anything, and if we want to change the rules to disallow a woman of color to be in, they can do that too. And everyone will shut the hell up and let it happen, Johnson. That's not hypocritical at all. Yeah. Why is Elizabeth Warren complaining about this? Warren, Bernie, complain, Bernie. I'm trying to keep them off my ass, and I know that Tulsi Gabbard will go up there and she would say things. She would say things that would make them be on my ass even more. Come on, Tim Black. All right, so next segment. Let's go to the next segment. Gotta learn how to put a line between these things. Oh, go to Business Bully TV on Roku. Roku? Yeah, on Roku. Go to Business Bully TV on Roku and on Fire Stick, where you'll see amazing content about relationships, content about business, and even political coverage like your man Tim Black, brought to you by Business Bully TV. Do that today, Johnson. How was that, Dave? All right, what else? Okay, next segment. So Elizabeth Warren's out of the race. Smoke's starting to clear. And I could tell that she's not very happy about it. She's pretty pissed. She expected more of the country. I don't know why, but she did. So, like, in America, anyone can run for president, but not anyone can win, and we know this. Believe me, we know it. Believe me, we know it. It took a long time to get Barack Obama, to get a Barack Obama. He had to be very special. He had to be a Harvard law professor with a white mom and white grandparents and didn't know his African daddy who left the country. And a state senator. And gave an amazing speech at the DNC conference back in 2004. And worked in civil rights. And, activist. And, there's a bunch of ands. Married to another lawyer wife and all these ands. And had to give a great speech. And had to be extreme. Did I mention how special he was? So, yeah, I'm very familiar with that. Well, Elizabeth Warren did an interview recently with Rachel Maddow where they discussed her dropping out of the race. And some things were said, Johnson, that need to be talked about. Here goes a clip.
That is usually grounds for mutual trust, or at least mutual understanding when you've had a long relationship like that.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I wanted to ask you about that relationship with Senator Sanders is something that I talked to him about last night when I was in Vermont, and that is that there have been some really untoward attacks by Senator Sanders' supporters, not by him himself, against you. Particularly online. His supporters have called you a snake. They used this snake emoji for you. They've called you a traitor. They tried to organize somebody to primary you, to force you out of your Senate seat here in Massachusetts. And the senator said last night, he responded, he said, I condemned that. And he's distancing himself from what his supporters have done. But I wanted to ask if that rose to your level of consciousness, if you were aware of that was going on, if you have any reaction to that or to his comments about it last night.
You know, it's not just about me. I think there's a real problem with this online bullying and sort of organized nastiness. And I'm not just talking about who said mean things. I'm talking about some really ugly stuff that went on. You know, out in Nevada, when the Unite Here had put out an analysis of the different candidates and their views on healthcare and other issues. And some of the Bernie supporters online took exception to it. And they didn't just take exceptions like, we disagree, and, outrageous way to do this, which anybody can do. That's fine. And you can be clever and you can find clever ways to be kind of mean sometimes. Okay, I get that part too. But they actually published the phone numbers and home addresses of the two women, the executive director, the communications director, women of color, immigrant women, and really put them in fear for their families. And these are not, these are tough women. Tough women who've run labor organizing campaigns and really earned their jobs in their union, the hard way. And yet said for the first time, because of this onslaught of online threats, that they felt really under attack. And that wasn't the first time it happened. Working Families Party, 2 women there, women of color, who were attacked right after they endorsed me. And I think this fundamental question about what goes on online and where those lines are and how much each of us, and I want to say this for all of the candidates back when there were lots of us, we are responsible for the people who claim to be our supporters and do really threatening, ugly, dangerous things to other
And it's a particular problem with Sanders' supporters.
It is. And it just is. It's just a factual question, and it is, and that's something I think that.
Have you ever talked to Senator Sanders about that?
I have.
What was that conversation like?
It was short. But yeah, we've talked about it. But I think it's a real problem.
Does he not share your view that he's responsible for the behavior of supporters?
I shouldn't speak for him. It's something he should speak for himself on. But I do think it's something that we need to reckon with in our political discourse in particular, because this is what politics is about, is to get out and put your ideas out there. People choose sides, people vote, people say, I'm holding a sign for her, I'm holding a sign for him. That is part of what we do. But what underlies that is a fundamental human decency and respect for each other. An understanding that nobody tries to put somebody's family at risk or somebody personally at risk because they disagree with you on the politics of it, because they see the policy different, because they don't support your candidate and they support some other candidate. No. And if we follow that same kind of politics of division that Donald Trump follows, that notion of, he draws strength from tearing people apart, from demonizing people, from saying, oh, those are bad people, and that's kind of how they draw their strength. It's not who I want to be as a Democrat. It's not who I want to be as an American. Any power to control that?
Okay. Okay, guys. So before I get started on this, because it's going to be a doozy, I want to put this in a little bit of context by stating for the record that the interview that Elizabeth Warren had with Rachel Maddow did not focus on this primarily. There was 25 minutes or 20 minutes at least of discussion about matters that had nothing to do with snakes, emojis, name-calling, or anything of that nature. Nothing to do with Bernie supporters at all. In fact, the majority, like that 20 minutes that began this interview, was about women being in politics and why she dropped out, and it had to do more with the possibility of a woman being president and the hopes and dreams of women who feel that they're shut out from that opportunity and how that feels. So I think when we're having this conversation, because I want to keep it 100, I want to make sure we're being fair, and I'm being fair, right? It wasn't just about this. Now, a lot of people have covered this part, but let's be fair and say there's other stuff that was discussed. This was not the focus. I'm choosing to focus on it now, but in the context, she talked about other issues as well. Okay, so all right. Good enough? Fair enough? Is that above board? That's more than what they do for us ever, okay? Which is put it in context and say, well, there's more to the conversation than just what I'm going to focus on. That's not something Rachel does or Joy does when they talk about us. They pigeonhole us and make the narrative really small, and that's all you get to know. But we can be better than that. Now, let me say what I agree with. Okay? Doxing is wrong. Doxing is wrong. You shouldn't dox people. Now, if people are putting up people's addresses, no one agrees with that. No one. I remember one time I had somebody kept calling the show. I asked him, please stop calling the show. He would call my show and play on the phone. He would call the show. He didn't like the show. He'd call the show, and then I would repeatedly say, please stop calling my show. One night, after we repeatedly asking him not to call the show, I was pissed. I said, stop calling the show. I hung up on him. Then I said, hey, we should call him, guys. Here's his number. I didn't know the guy didn't use his cell phone. He used his home phone. I didn't mean to dox him. I was wrong. I had to apologize. I was wrong to do that. So even in that context, with someone who I asked repeatedly, stop calling me, stop calling me, stop calling me, I was wrong to give his number out. Live on air. I was wrong. Obviously, according to him and his supporters, he was never wrong to repeatedly call the show after being told to stop. Never wrong. There's no way for me to block callers, by the way, on this phone system. Well, I would have done that. So, just funny how things work, but that's beside the point. So, doxing's wrong, okay? And no one, forget a campaign, no one condones putting out people's address. People are crazy. You can't put out people's addresses. What's wrong with who's doing that? Who's putting out people's addresses online? Do you know anybody who's putting out addresses online? I thought that was against the law to put out people's addresses. That's like putting a hit on someone. People are crazy. You can't do that shit. So if Elizabeth Warren mentions that, I just want to point it out that no one condones that. And that's something definitely that Elizabeth Warren and anybody else could gripe about. And I feel that they're totally in their rights. That's not a gripe. That's a grievance. And that's totally something that should be, we need to put it into. And I know for a fact, like I don't speak for anybody in the campaign, but I can't imagine anyone condoning that, okay? I can't imagine it, okay? So now, back to the stuff I disagree with her about. Man, nobody give a damn about snake emojis, yo. No one cares if people put out emojis about you. What do you think this is? Oh, it's hurtful. They called me a snake. Why, Elizabeth, why did they call you a snake? I'm just asking. Why? Rachel, why did people call her a snake? Because they thought she had some snake-like tendencies, right? Yeah, because it appeared to them that she was being a backstabber. So what you're watching is the reality TV-ification of our politics. Yeah, when you watch a reality TV show or you watch somebody up there and you're watching and they're doing stuff and you're like, you can't trust her. She's phony. She's a fake. She's a snake. You know, or you're watching, you're going, oh man, this guy's a bum, or he's a bad guy, or he's not a good person, he's not a good pick for her. Why is she with this guy? He's a loser. He's not a man. He's not a good guy. He's not so that's what you're watching. That's what we're experiencing. And it's happening not just to you, Elizabeth. It's happening to everything in the world. It's being looked at this way. Because people now get to interact with it. And the way that they do these debates lends themselves for people reacting the way they react when you get to respond in 30 seconds or less. 30 seconds or less. We're trying to decide a president, and you get a minute to answer a question and a 30-second response to a rebuttal or some crazy, it's not even about substance. All they're getting is surface information about you, Elizabeth. And they're designing it that way. The DNC can decide however they want their debates to be structured. It could be elaborate. It could be thoughtful. It could be detailed. It could be less people on the stage at one time. We can really get into nuts and crannies, the nooks and crannies, like a Snickers bar. The nooks and crannies of policy and what people really stand for. But the DNC chooses not to. And it's not just the DNC. I don't think the RNC does a better job at all. Okay? But they did this to you. Not just to you, though, Elizabeth. It's to everyone. We only get surface interaction, surface relation to any candidate due to the way that the debates are structured, due to the ads, that run, that bash one another, due to the whole nature of our politics, the way it's run this way on purpose. And then when people react based on the way that the process is vetted out, is meted out, now you blame people. So I think that's wrong as well. I think it's short-sighted. And for a smart person, you have to know that this is not optimal the way they do these debates. It's not optimal the way they parrot you out. They bring you guys out for a couple seconds, and then they just throw raw meat at the crowd. And then they plant people in the audience. It's not a good process. She talks about online bullying. No one here agrees with online bullying, but let's define what online bullying is. If you are in this system where people see you on a stage, you may talk for 10 minutes. You realize you were on a show that was an hour and a half long, and you only had a chance to speak for 10 minutes. A lot of people can misunderstand you in 10 minutes. And they have a response. Is it online bullying to call you a snake? Or is it online bullying to post an emoji? Is that really online bullying? I thought online bullying was, we're going to come get you. I thought online bullying is where, like, I'm from a different age, and so are you, Elizabeth Warren, where people really bullied you. Like you couldn't walk home. People took your lunch money. Or people punched you in the mouth. Not figuratively, not with emojis, with real fist. Sometimes they use bats. Sometimes people got stabbed. Sometimes people got shot. Like real stuff happened. People got jumped by 3 and 4 guys. You ever been jumped? I've been jumped. Not fun. Like in real life, not this shit you're talking about. Online bullying. And I'm not saying online bullying isn't a thing and people don't get harassed. But if you are a public person who's running for the office of the highest office in the land, you're not expecting people to have a strong opinion about you. You're not expecting. Is it online bullying? Or is it sort of like goes with the territory? I gotta imagine it goes with the territory. I got treated worse, wearing some high waters in school one time. I mean, you seem to be okay to me. You seem to be fine. But okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're scarred for life because of an emoji. Okay. Very rich lady doing very well in the Senate has a hard time. Okay, I get it. Which brings me to another point I want to make. These people live in a bubble. When I say these people, I mean Rachel Maddow and Elizabeth Warren. Do you realize that in the real world, there are places you can't go wearing certain colors? I remember I went to California. I did a segment on the Dr. Phil show, and I wore a New York Yankee hat. Look, if you ever go to LA, don't wear a New York Yankee hat. Someone stopped me on the train, was like, I know you're not going to wear that hat. You want to make it to the hotel or you want to die? Real talk. There are things you can't. So this is the real world we live in. There are sports teams. If you wear the wrong sports memorabilia, you can get your ass kicked. You wear the wrong color, you can get your ass kicked. And I don't just mean someone running up to you and painting a picture and sticking it in your face and calling you an emoji, a snake emoji. I'm talking about literally getting beat up or shot, okay? Or something broken, like an arm or a leg or your skull. These things really happen. Just when I was in South Carolina, me and my brother were there. I had on a hat, and he was like, I wonder how they feel about their sports teams here. I was like, you know what, you're right. Let me take off this hat, this sports team hat, because I don't want no problems. And I don't know how hard they ride for their sports teams in South Carolina. So in the real world, people deal with this all the time. Real people deal with much worse. And we're not even throwing in politics, which I'll get to later. Also, you may not know this, Elizabeth Warren, but if you say, imagine a country or world where you can't say something bad about a musician. Imagine saying something bad about a musician may get you bullied online or harassed or chased offline. Oh, yeah, that happens all the time. Go say something bad enough about Beyonce or Ariana Grande or any popular artist, and you if you rise to the level of attention, you will get a lot of negative attention that may send you offline. This happens to countless people, okay? So, it's not just you, Elizabeth. It's the entire country. It's not just Bernie supporters. It's not just Bernie bros, white guys who live in their basement with their parents and they don't move out, whatever the hell you're paying us into, okay? But it's everything, every facet of life is online, and there are people from all over online. Then there's trolling, where people don't even feel the way they say they feel. They do it just to make you feel stupid, or they do it to piss you off, or they do it to get a reaction out of you. And that's called trolling. They don't even mean what they're doing, and you don't even know who those people are. And people have multiple troll accounts. And then we got bots, and we got AI, and we got all these things. We don't even know what you're dealing with. And you are actually, both of you, are wasting time talking about something that you can't control, that you can never, you couldn't ask Beyonce to pull her fans off of someone. All she could say is, hey guys, don't beat up on the girl. And that would be it. What could she do? Go to people's houses to try to stop them? Because they said the latest Beyonce album sucked and people got offended, or Ariana Grande, they say she couldn't dance well, and then the people came for her and they dragged her across the internet, figuratively. Like, it's ridiculous for you and Rachel Maddow to make this a thing. It's not a thing. It's stupid. You know, there are rappers, local rappers dying right now, who have died in the last couple months just because they posted something on Instagram. Literal people who got shot to death because they posted money, or they accidentally posted an address or something, or they made a comment, or they made a rap or something, or they dissed someone, and they're literally getting shot in the face. Do you understand? But meanwhile, we have you who want to be our president who can't deal with a snake emoji. And then you're going to tell me, I guess you want to tell me how it's our fault. I just told you, there are young black men being killed right now for songs, verses, but you know that. You don't give a shit. I don't hear you complaining about the Instagram deaths. Not a problem with you. You definitely wouldn't spend 3 minutes or 5 minutes out of a 30-minute interview with the former top-tier presidential candidate to discuss Little Ray Ray getting shot in the face for making a comment about someone else on a rap song. But that is life and death, and what you dealt with, excuse me for not being overly sensitive, but what you're dealing with is a little less. We would agree, right? That what you're talking about with the working families Guy had to deal with is a little less than Ray Ray, who's no longer with us, right? Okay, just checking, because, I guess we're all supposed to be so upset and hate Bernie Sanders so much because Banana Peel 1763 said that Elizabeth Warren is a snake. Oh, no! All right. And here goes the last point, okay? Here's the last point I want to make before we go to phone calls. Why doesn't Liz see that these people's problems are real? Yeah, that's the point. Why doesn't Elizabeth Warren or Rachel Maddow see that the people, if we're going to say that these are real people, if we're going to say these people are not bots, they're not trolling, they mean what they're posting, they're pissed off, are we going to ask ourselves why these people are so upset? Shouldn't you be in touch with the reality that to some people, politics is not just about having a different position? That to some people, their circumstances are so dire, their situations are so dire, that it really matters who becomes president. I know to you it's just a philosophical conversation about ideas, but to some people, because remember, half of America doesn't vote, okay? So half the people would never post an emoji about you. They don't even know who you are. They don't care who you are. They don't watch debates, and they don't vote. Don't vote, okay? So there's a lot of people, but of the people that do vote, that there will be some people who are really invested in it because they need fundamental change, real change, not bullshit change, real change, because the job left, or their parents are sick, or there's something real in their lives. They have a child, as you pointed out in this very interview. In this very interview, guys, she talks about some people she met on the campaign trail. A mother she met with a beautiful child who was exuberant and full of energy, and then the mother pulls her to the side and says, please work on the health care. She's a beautiful child, but she has brain cancer. I got a feeling that mom may be a little bit passionate online. Just a little bit. Why do you live in such a bubble that you don't understand that some people have real concerns? Real concerns, real issues, real things going on in their lives. It's not a philosophical conversation. It's not bantering back and forth. We'll have a little fun. You know, this isn't the Dead Poets Society. Okay, this is real shit. This isn't Goodwill Hunting, an episode of Goodwill Hunting, and we want to see who's smartest. This is about real people's lives. This is about really their survival. This is about not just them, their children's lives. This is about the environment, children's lives, people's rights, constitutional and otherwise, and civil. We're talking about freedom and the difference between jail and incarceration and freedom. Righting wrongs of the past. We're talking about real shit, reparations. We're talking about a whole host of things. We're talking about countries being bombed into oblivion. And you don't understand why people might be a little upset and they don't really want to hear you talk about civility online on Facebook when you can just delete the fucking app. I mean, if it got to you that badly and you're so detached from the real struggle, the real pain and grievances of the people, that you will go on a show and complain about the pain people are feeling, but you're not complaining that they have the pain or the anger or the frustration. You're complaining how that manifests and how it impacts you. And all I'm saying is, if you truly are a leader, you should lead. You should lead with compassion, not just for those who agree with you. And I notice you don't have anything negative to say about people who were kissing your ass online. You know, for every horrible comment you received, I know you received 100 of people saying how amazing you were, how beautiful you were, how smart you are, how intelligent you are. Notice that you do not comment on all of the great comments that you've received from people you don't know, that you really haven't earned. What have you done that they should be flowing you with praise? You haven't run the presidency. You haven't restored rights to people. You haven't cleaned up the water or cleaned up the air or emptied out the prisons. You haven't done anything. And there are people, thousands and thousands, that I'm sure of, who said beautiful, nice, glowing praises to you. And you don't even balance that with the negative. You just look at the negative and say, oh, look how horrible these people are. And you just take all of this for granted. What about all the good stuff, Elizabeth? What about all the love? And you too, Rachel. What about all the love and all the money and all the accolades and all the praise and all the people treating you like royalty because you get on TV and run your damn mouth as if that makes you somehow important? You don't complain about the fame when it works for you. You don't complain about it when you get to live an exalted life, a life that's more luxurious than 99% of the rest of the world. You don't have a bad mumbling word to say about 5-star restaurants, getting flown around in a private jet, not having to worry about if you can keep the lights on or if the car's going down or being able to afford that $400 emergency. No complaints, but let there be somebody who calls you a greaseball online. All of a sudden, we need to cancel Christmas and shut down the internet because somebody posted a meme about you. So it's not just about policy differences. It's about inequities in our communities, inequities in our society that people deal with. And if you ask me, you're lucky. You're lucky, we're lucky. We are fortunate in this country. We are fortunate that we have the internet, and we're fortunate that it has not deteriorated because, honestly, it should be worse than it is. We are fortunate that there aren't riots in the street every day for what the 1% is doing to the rest of us. We are fortunate that they aren't emptying the Congress right now due to the lack of trust and corruption in our politics. We are fortunate. You are fortunate that they are burning down this country. There are people living in the streets with their entire families living in tents. And you're talking about emojis. Entire families. You go on your day. I got to keep hearing about your selfie tour. What did you learn? Did you learn nothing? Obviously, you didn't learn enough not to look past yourself. You're still looking at your damn self about how you feel. What about all the people that you met online or that you met offline? What if some of those people who you met who had horrible stories or touching stories or sad stories or stories of severe adversity in their personal lives? What if some of those people have negative things to say about Bernie Sanders? I wonder if you'd see it the same way. Or would you have compassion for what those people are going through? I think you would, Elizabeth, because those are your supporters. So if your supporters are passionate and directing their anger and frustration at Bernie or Biden or Trump, that's probably fine with you because you act like those people don't exist. What about all those people in those selfie lines? You don't think any of them will have anything negative to say to Bernie Sanders? Nothing? They say nothing under videos with Bernie? They say nothing under live streams? I mean, they support you and they saw you as the way out that was going to fix the problems. You, the first, like you, have an opportunity to become the first female president, and that being dashed by these two old white guys, both slightly older than you. You don't think that any of your supporters have said untoward things about them online? Or are we going to pretend that the presence of a uterus makes one a better person? It's all bullshit and you know it. And if it's not, you are completely one-sided and you're unfair. And in my opinion, that makes you unfit to lead. We're going to phone lines right after this. Phone numbers posted above, and I'll see you in a few moments. If you want political commentary that is real, insightful, honest, true, Bernie, progressive, you need to come to my channel today, subscribe, and you will get that. I'm Tim Black. I support you. I got your back. We are the voice of the people. Feel the burn. See you there. Johnson. By popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious. They are revolutionary. And they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack. If you want yourself your own personal No Joe button, all you got to do is send me your address. Send it to Tip at tipblacktv.com, and I'll send you a No Joe button for free. Because no Joe. No Joe. There it is. All right, guys. We are good to go. We are back. 319-527-6212 is the phone number you call in to be online to get your voice heard. I will do my best to take calls in the order that they are received. Let's try to get through all the calls. Limit your comment to 3 minutes if possible, just to make sure everyone gets in. The first phone number we're starting with it is a 415 number. Hey, 415, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Me?
That's you.
Hey, Tim. Appreciate your stuff. I've been following you since the last election. I just wanted to get your take on Joe Biden, since he's the subject of the hour. Wanted to get your take on Bernie's recent ads, and then the take on the whole Biden camp saying that mentioning the dementia is like too aggressive. And I just wanted to say, or get your opinion on what do you think Bernie's best card is going forward?
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate the phone call, man, and thanks for following the show so long, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. A lot of us go way back. I haven't seen the ads yet, but so I'll comment on the dementia angle. All cards are on the table. Yeah, all cards are on the table. I think that one's cognitive ability should be tested. I don't think that taking into question Joe Biden's ability to be coherent and give coherent answers and to be able to stay on topic would be something that Donald Trump will ignore. Yeah, I don't think that Bernie Sanders is uncovering something that is it's hidden in plain sight, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's not like he's digging for clues, or anyone in the campaign is digging for clues here. This is not some clandestine meeting with somebody in the back room that slides Bernie Sanders' surrogate a note telling them the wherewithal, the who's and the what's with Joe Biden, and now all of a sudden we got this unscrupulous secret information. It's not like someone passed a question at a town hall to Bernie Sanders. Okay, so what we're talking about is something that everyone's been noticing. And if you don't think, in fact, I think that Trump's already commented on Joe Biden being unable to stay on topic. As what I said with Elizabeth Warren, my brother. Hey, if you ain't going to be able to handle Bernie Sanders, if you can't handle snake emojis, if you can't handle people saying things online, you definitely ain't going to be able to handle Donald Trump or his supporters or the direction of a real race. Come on. And also, would you be able to handle being president? Come on. But thank you for the phone call, man. Thank you for the question. I got a 11111 number in the queue. You're live. You're on the air. What's your name and what is your comment?
Adam from California, Costa Mesa. Is this me?
That's you, Adam. What's up, man?
Okay. All right. There's always so much to talk about. I guess I should be happy that I predicted that Joe Biden is a hard zero, so I guess I should be happy. But I would never underestimate the establishments and the media's their intent on holding his hand all the way through this primary, and it's such a strange thing considering how really bad he's doing, and really can't speak on issues of its platitudes. It's simple stuff. He does get into little specifics. He does, and I think the reason he did well and with the black vote is that I think that he has been somewhat in their mind. He's handled himself well in terms of he's not negative. He's dignified. And but I just think that what was I going to say? Anyway, I wish I could do this. There's this. I guess I'll just end with something horrible and just say this is. No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to let it go. I should be happy. I think Joe Biden's a hard zero. I think Bernie Sanders has the winning agenda. He's I wish that people would agree with me that his. I guess people do agree with me. I guess my term reparations by another name has never sat well, even though all Bernie Sanders policies are disproportionately advantageous to minorities and black communities. And I guess the last thing I want to say, and I remembered what I wanted to say, was that maybe we should kick the statue of Martin Luther King down and put one of Jim Clyburn up, and we should have an homage to moderation and incrementalism from here on out, and just go on with just keep on getting things worse. And I do think that it has to be questioned about whether the black vote is or isn't a what's it called, a monolith. That's always said. I keep hearing black vote is not a monolith. Is it or isn't it? And I'll leave you that question. You can comment on everything. Thank you so much. You're doing great. Yesterday was great. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Adam, for the phone call. I don't know, man. White people always majority vote Republican. Does that make white vote monolithic? If it wasn't for black people, there'd never be another Democratic presidential candidate. Because white people always vote Republican, man. It takes black people to even make Democrats viable. You do know this, right? So to that extent, if you want to say they're monolithic, they vote Democrat. So this argument is difficult to have when people... So you like the fact that black people vote Democratic, you just don't want them to vote for Joe Biden. But if they voted for Trump, oh my God, right? So it's like really confusing what people are asking, what people are saying. We have what you call low information voters, just like white people do. And that's sad, you know what I'm saying? And I despise that. I despise people being led astray by people who don't mean them well. And that's what I think when I think of Jim Clyburn and his pick to push people to vote for a candidate who would even consider cutting Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. I don't even know how you justify that. And I don't think that he informed these low information voters that this is something that Joe Biden tried to cut. Not once, not twice, not three times, but 4 times. But the problem is people don't devote the amount of resources over the long term to change, to impact people's thoughts on the ground. So the only way that you combat that, I think, bro, is you have to have a grassroots push over an extended period of time, like now, that's informing people and informing people and informing people and bringing people up to speed. And who has the resources to do that in every state? I think Bernie will do better as we move more, towards the north, so to speak, away from these more so entrenched community leaders who have developed trusting relationships, whether we agree with them or not, with large amounts or large segments of the community. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a Jim Clyburn, there's got to be a reason why people like Jim Clyburn. I'm not from South Carolina, but there's got to be a reason. Of course, I criticize him, but there's got to be a reason why people like him. And it wasn't developed just because of the 2020 election. You get what I'm saying? So there's been some groundwork done. There's been some stuff done over a period of time that created this situation. And the only way to undo it is devoting a certain amount of time. But the machinations of the Democratic Party, remember, these people aren't... Look, South Carolina's getting a lot of attention, and I respect it, and it should, but the bottom line is, it's going to go red anyway. Yeah, we're doing a lot of talking about a place that is going to be red. It's going to vote Trump. I mean, and you do realize this. So I'm going to go next call. But thank you for your phone call, man. What can you do? There are places where people vote against their own best interests all the time. We have a mechanism, we have a corporate media that lies to people every day. And then when people believe the lie, we go, what's wrong with the sheep? Why they believe the lie? We forget they're being lied to by, and truths are being omitted every day on their airwaves. This is why independent media matters. That's why it matters that my show is out here, eking along. We're trying to survive. We're trying to grow because it's important for people to hear different voices. I work really hard to be where I'm at, and I'm nowhere where I need to be to have an impact that I need to have. Look at me since 2013 doing this, and look at some other people since 2018 doing it. And all I'm saying is, that's part of the problem. But how do you mitigate that? So I'm trying to be creative. I take it as a personal responsibility to reach more people and give them more different takes on these situations and information so they can be influenced in different ways, bro. I'm doing my part. You doing your part? I don't know. We all got to do our part. It's frustrating as hell to me as well. All right, going to the next call. 917. 917, you're live Freedom Friday. Hey.
Hey, I'm Black. It's your boy Sam in New York City, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Always happy to be part of the Wolfpack, as always. So I'll make it quick because I don't want to keep people up on the line. But just real quick, when you're talking about the coffee, you ever try doing a French press, man? I personally like French press, and you could like find a video with like I think it's like Alton Brown. He does like a quick French press type recipe.
Okay.
Give it a try, man. I don't know what coffee you do, but I like it. So real quick, man, with the whole Tulsi thing, look, granted, it's somewhat anecdotal, but like if you watched Michael Tracy, who followed her on the campaign, she pulls in a lot of Trump voters in the sense of, and that's where the media hit her with like, oh, you pulled in Trump voters. Like that's the point. I thought we're trying to get them to see why Trump is bad. And they say, like, the reason is because she puts in the context of when they get feared of, like, Bernie's socialism. She explains, like, okay, look, you have this giant pot of money that's being wasted on war. What if that pot of money was put towards your kid's education, your health care? And so, like, in a way, they can kind of more relate with that. And I agree with you, man. If she was on a debate stage, she will destroy Joe Biden. Because all she do is just – and I was personally upset when she didn't challenge him on the second debate, when he made that nonsense of like, well, I stood in Saddam's palace and I told Bush that you were wrong about Iraq. Like, you know that thing in front of you, that square box with that blinking red light? That's called a camera, right? That's going to record you. Like, it would take anybody like a minute to find out 1 year later he had said, Bush is popular and if I could do it again, I'd, vote with him again. His decision was the right choice to invade Iraq. Like, dude, you lie your ass off. And then you don't learn anything. You do it again in Libya, and you do it again in Syria. So she will destroy him in that front. I don't think her job will be to hit Bernie. It will just be to, like, hammer him on war. And to a lot of people in these rural areas, this is a huge impact because, they can't afford to go to college. They sometimes don't even have job opportunities. So what you have is people like, we may have to go to the military to get out of poverty.
Yep.
And that leads to my next point, which was where Bernie needs to do his ads. So I like, for example, in Michigan, he's pointing about the trade deal. Kyle kind of made this point is don't just say what, Joe voted for. Show clips of it. You can find easily clips of Joe talking about how NAFTA was great and these people don't know what they're talking about and TPP is great. And you have to just keep airing this stuff. It's a three-front approach. You got to do that front. And, again, why did Trump win the Rust Belt? Granted, only one study had done this, so I could only say it's somewhat anecdotal. But they showed that in towns where people have, their brothers, their sisters, their fathers, their daughters, whatever, in the military, in a town that was predominantly, like, military-based, they voted Trump because he was at least saying it half the time, hey, I want to get out of these wars. Other half the time, he's talking about, like, carpet bombing the area. And he needs to show these clips where Joe is constantly talking about why we need to go into this war and why this war is the right thing. And the final point is just talk about, like, you remember that whole thing with Bernie and the Medicare thing? I thought when he apologized, I was like, why? Why would you apologize about that? Come out and aggressive. For every time you deny that you say you want to cut Social Security and Medicare, I'm going to play a clip in my commercial showing you directly saying that. He's got to be a lot more aggressive in that front because these are topics that where Hillary didn't campaign and Trump was doing the fake populism. He said, believe me, I'm not going to touch your Medicare. We got to get out of these wars. These trade deals are bad. These are what won him the Rust Belt states. So Bernie needs to go full throttle on the offense. And finally, I just wanted to make a small caveat. Excuse me. When you were saying, like, white people predominantly vote Republican, I'd agree with you, but keep in mind, like, because I'm Arab, like, on a chart or whatever, or a census, whenever I fill out a form, Arabs are classified as Caucasian. I'm not even making that up. It's like, says, Caucasians underneath will say, like, if you're Eastern European, North African, Middle Eastern. Which I was laughing. I'm like, if I'm Caucasian, could somebody tell airport security that when I fly? Because that would make my a lot easier. So I'm like, we're probably that statistic of the Caucasian votes that don't vote Republican. Because trust me, you're not going to find Arabs who are like, yeah, Republicans, they're our teammates, But then finally, I just want to, you're correct in pointing out, man, that the media it has a role to play because, I live in a good neighborhood next side. I had to work my butt off for this stuff. But, like, what was funny is I'm in the dog park, right? And this guy just starts talking about, like, Russian interference. And I'm just like, all you have to challenge them is saying, so explain to me Russian interference. They know everything on superficial level. Just ask, give me specifics. Where they spent $2 million Okay, Bloomberg spent $500 million. Well, it does. Our generation is going to be the generations that knock these guys out, and it's because of people like you, like Kyle, like Jimmy, like Tracy. You guys are killing it, man. And I'm just going to end it quick. You know, I always tell you every time, man, Tim, you got to pick a lane, man. You can either be having the swag of Barry White or the knowledge of Mr. Cornel West. You can't. All right, but you're scaring the white folks, Tim. All right.
You crazy, brother. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it.
Go, brother. Good. I'm always enjoying the show, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the phone call. And also point out that census issue, man, about, they do the same thing with Latino folks. A lot of Latinos are classified as white. Yeah, man, if you looked at our elections, I mean, it frustrates the hell out of everyone. Like, we want people to vote. You know, it's important that people vote their best interest, and if they did, we would help. I don't know if it would solve everything, but it would help. I just, God, man, there was so much you said there. I'll let some of those comment a little bit on it, but I'll just say that I'm not saying. I just think they should not be able to change the rules the way that they do. I understand it's a private organization, but there needs to be some consistency. Everything can't be just done because they just want to do it. Like, they just willy-nilly change rules. And as far as Bernie, I felt that when people were saying, for instance, like when Jimmy Dore was saying Bernie was being too soft, I don't think that was time for Bernie to go scorched earth. Now I think it's time. I didn't think then. It was way too early. Way too early for that. Blitzkrieg. No. We're here now. It's down to these two. I think some people wanted Bernie to be like Trump. And I don't think that's not who he is. Guys, that's not who he is. He's not going to do that. But now it's time for Bernie to be more aggressive now. This is where it is. This is it right here. The race is down to those two people, and it's time. And I think he will rise to the occasion. And if he doesn't, I will be critical. Because no more of that, no one cares about your damn emails. Screw that. Like, if you get that email moment, take it. Take it, Johnson. This ain't just about you. It's about us. All right, go on to the next call. Okay, we lost a person. Let's try 978. 978, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim Black. It's Rebecca Lane calling. How are you doing?
Hey, Rebecca. What's going on? What's on your mind tonight, Rebecca?
Oh, a few things. I never say this, but I'm calling from Lansing, Michigan. I always forget that part, so I just want to put that out there.
Hey.
And we're going to fucking win on Tuesday. Because I'm working my ass off out here. And you know what? The Wolfpack, in the Facebook feed, I've already been talking about it. Like, I've got 2 events coming up this weekend in spite of 2 jobs. Wow. We're winning Michigan. Hey. Yeah, fuck that. So this week, and I don't know, probably everyone's going to say it, and they all feel this way. This week was the worst blow emotionally that I think I've had since, I don't even know, maybe Trump's inauguration. I don't know. It was worse than that. It was like Trump getting elected and the DNC all wrapped up in one. It was really painful. So I couldn't be online. I felt so like, I just felt so dejected. And so I don't want to use the word hopeless, but that's kind of how it was. And I had to just stay offline. I didn't want to even put that in the universe. I couldn't imagine all the millions of people that felt how I did. Because I really have been invested in this. So I took a few days off, and I feel a lot better. Now I feel stronger, and I just wanted to put that out there. Fuck that. We're gonna fight. We can still win. So what else do I want to say? Okay, so this reminds me, like our election cycle reminds me of the 2004 playoffs. And also, screw you for the Yankees hat. Don't you live like your Nationals or Orioles? Come on, man. Really? Yankees? All right, just kidding. But I'm a Red Sox fan. That's what Becky Bo Sox is all about. Yeah, Bo Sox, baby. So anyway, 2004 playoffs. And Bernie Sanders, I'm really hoping, is the Red Sox because we broke the curse after 86 years. And I just want to make the point that, which people have made before, It wasn't the World Series that was the challenge that year. It was getting through the Yankees. It was, the Cardinals were nothing. They laid down like a doormat and we swept them in 4 games. It was great. We didn't even celebrate at home because we whipped their ass that bad. They just were nothing compared to the gigantic Yankees that we came back from 3 games down, 4 straight games, never been done in history, and we destroyed them. And boom, we were champions.
Yeah.
We knew it then. Honestly, the Cardinals weren't an afterthought. So when Tuesday happened, and I had so much confidence going into Tuesday, Bernie felt inevitable. Even my brother, who's like the most pessimistic, I'm pragmatic kind of guy, was like, no, Bernie's unstoppable. This is happening.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday, and I was not prepared for that emotionally in any way. I think there was just enough cheating around the edges to kind of make it look, legit, so people aren't like questioning the way they did in 2016 about where the cheating was just blatant. It was everywhere,
Yeah.
I think it's a little here and a little there. The poll is closing in Texas. I'm a little pissed off that Bernie's campaign, the people who are advising him, they didn't have a plan for anything like that. They didn't know some sneaky shit was going to happen in Texas, or I don't know. It just feels like he's not getting the best advice. And I feel what you're saying. Can you say it was too early to go scorched earth before? But I think I disagree with that. I think he could have gone a little harder, saying he's Joe, my friend. Dude, we get it. He's your fucking friend. We get it. You said it. Everyone has heard that. You don't have to say it every time you talk about him. And that's stop doing that. He's such a nice guy, but I hate that. And now is the time. Scorched earth doesn't even begin to cover it. We're talking nuked earth is what we need right now. So now here we are. The Sanders campaign, all of us that are working so hard, that care so much for this, that have so much invested time-wise, energy-wise, money-wise. I'm all 3 personally. This is where we're at. We're down 3-0. And if we can get through the next 4 games, we just got to win 1. And that's what Kevin Millar said. Cowboy up. We just got to win 1.
Okay.
Lighten up, have some fun, and we're going to do this. So if we can get through this, then the General's nothing. And if the Sox can break an 86-year curse, to get through the Yankees, best team ever, to get through, we can do this too. So I just wanted to put that out there.
All right. Thank you, Rebecca.
I'm feeling a lot better, and I just hope everybody else is too.
All right, now. We appreciate you now. Thank you for the phone call. And guys, we got to try to keep the time a little tighter so we get everybody in. Gosh, man, I want to just say this, that there's a reason why they don't go negative. There's a reason why they offer disclaimers. You notice Bernie wasn't the only one saying, these are my friends, or this person's a good person. It's because negatives really drag down your vote potential if someone drops out. When you nag an opponent, when it's a bunch of you, the voters out of spite go somewhere else. They don't go to you. So this is things I've been learning. We've said it on this show before. There's a reason why Amy Klobuchar would say nice things about Bernie before she hit her. It wasn't just Bernie, but people just pay attention to Bernie doing it. Everybody does it. Everyone does it, except Trump. Everyone always does. That's just the way they do it. That's the way politics is done, because people have done the data on it. When you go hard on people, it turns other people off. And there are people in New England sitting home going, that's not the type of politics I like. I don't like when people are being negative and attacking one another. So, and that's it. And when you do, your unfavorability ratings go up. I meant to say this and I don't know how I slipped. God, there's this guy called up earlier named Adam, and did this guy say, now he talked really fast, Adam, if you call my show again, saying that Bernie Sanders' policies equal reparations, go fuck yourself. I would never say there's a policy that equals Jewish reparations for the Holocaust. If that was the case, it would be a policy just for Jewish people who are descendants of victims of the Holocaust. You can't say a general policy is a form of reparations to black people. If Latinos get it, and if you get it, Adam, dude, don't call my show with stupid shit like that. I think you get off calling my show saying that to a black person who can't reach out and pop you upside the head. That's ridiculous shit. Like, this is a role, this helps women, but it's for everybody. Don't do that, please. It doesn't matter. No wonder why you were so nervous, because you're saying stuff that don't make sense. Call someone else's show with that shit. Don't call my show with that shit. I'm sorry I missed it earlier, guys. I'm not a coon. I'm not a sellout. I meant to comment on it. I just missed it. I can't believe this guy said that. Well, Bernie's mass incarceration program was just like reparations. Man, shut up, man. Shut up. They're two different things. The reparations argument is still on the table. People need to address it. Bernie's policies are damn good on their own. Don't conflate the two just because you want them to vote for Bernie. And that is disingenuous, and it turns off people and makes people hate Bernie. You're actually not helping Bernie when you conflate something as dire as the racial income inequality or the racial wealth gap due to slavery and Jim Crow, when you conflate that to free local college. Like, that cancels out. Don't do that. You make my job harder when you say asinine things like that don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Well, your house blew up. We're going to give everybody on your block $20. And that covers your house blowing up. But the fact we blew up your house. Because we gave everybody's house. Well, their house didn't blow up. Yeah, I know, but we giving everybody $20 and that covers your house. You be what the hell, Tim Black? They blew. So you have there's a distinct difference. So let's treat it that way and just say Bernie's programs are great and they're beneficial and they're helpful. And reparations is another fight that needs to happen. That people need to fight for. But don't make his policy. Don't make Medicare for all the same as reparations to black people. Don't do that. All right, I'm going on. Why did nobody get him? Nobody got him in the comment section for saying that shit? Anybody? Jesus, man. You make my black audience mad as hell. What is wrong with you? Jesus Christ, man. Damn it. 774. You're live on Freedom Friday, 774. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. It's Ryan from Massachusetts.
Hey, my brother. What's on your mind tonight?
I'm going to be honest. I can agree with you about the reparations thing. That is just a shitty comment in general. But moving on, regarding the whole thing with some of the polls that came out from Maine, for example, because one of the things that people keep missing about everything was that when Maine voted, they had overwhelming positivity for Medicare for all, but it turned out a lot of people thought Biden supported Medicare for all. So one of the things they got to start putting in ads is that Joe Biden is not for Medicare for all. This is the thing I think a lot of Democrats are getting confused. It's one of those things that they have to bring up and put in ads for people. It really does. Other things is, I got to say, Jim Clyburn was one of the key features to reviving Biden's campaign with all that middle lane coming together and the media a couple days banging it out for him. Because a lot of people thought Biden's campaign was dead. There was no money. They just thought it was dead. It was a whole revitalizing it. And as far as Trump with him, he's already gone out a few times saying he wants to put Joe in a home. And my mother who works with old people who have cognitive decline, my mother's like, I can't vote for Joe in good faith. I can't vote for him in good faith. That type of decline, it's very noticeable. You see him, compare him to when he debated Paul Ryan. It's day and night. Yeah. He's not all there. And again, I'm an independent. I can imagine other independents that are going to see that are just going to be like, I can't vote for this man in good faith. He just, and again, you only have to imagine him going up against Trump. This is the one that I think a lot of Democrats are missing, is that they're picturing him against Bernie, but they only see 15 minutes of him. They're not seeing him in 2 hours in a debate, which is on the 15th of Bernie. 2 hours of these two, Bernie's still sharp as a nail. Yep. Joe barely talks more than a couple minutes. And now you're trying to say if he wins the nominee, you're going to try to imagine him going up against Trump in debates And again, Trump's been doing rallies for years.
Yep.
It's unfortunate truth. And I think that's one of the key pictures that people are missing. You just can't take that. Anyways, I'm going to end there. Tim, if you have any other comments to add, please do. Have a good night, man.
Hey, thank you, my brother, for that, bringing up the Maine issue. And, wow, so you said that in Maine, people actually thought that Joe Biden was for Medicare for all. I remember being pissed off with Andrew Yang because he was putting out false ads saying he supported Medicare for all. And somehow people defended him putting out ads saying he supported a policy that he didn't support. Trickery, man. And I get your point, man. It's horrible. And I agree with you as well, as I stated earlier, that this thing with Joe Biden about his cognitive awareness, his abilities, that's not hidden. Thank you for pointing out that Trump's already hitting him on it. So they're going to try to make it as if Bernie originated these allegations and it's horrible. Anyone who watches Joe Biden for any length of time, underneath the hokiness or whatever this is he's doing, this shtick, there is a guy lost in the weeds, feeling around in the room in the dark, reaching for stuff to say. I mean, the guy didn't even know the difference between his wife and his sister. I mean, this was on national TV. Everyone saw it. We're supposed to pretend that didn't happen? Trump would eat Biden for breakfast and still be empty, have empty stomach. Like, what else? This all you guys got for me? I thought you wanted me to have real competition. At least he's got to work for it with Bernie. All right. 870, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, is this me?
That's you, my friend.
Hey, man, this is Thomas. I'm in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And, oh, man, like, this shit is crazy. But I feel like, I mean, like, it's a precarious position. Like, it feels weird. But I think, like, there is a way to approach the whole cognitive decline thing in a way that's pretty human. And, like, they'll still smear Bernie for it. Like, they're going to do that. But, like, if he sits there and says, like, Joe, you're my good friend. I'm worried about you. Like, have him
He can't
explain
say
this
that, though.
to
He
us.
can't say good friend because people
I
don't
know.
understand that's what we say. But you're
What I mean,
suggesting
though,
he
is that
does
it's
it, though.
like-
Yeah, go ahead.
What I mean, though, is, like, he's been saying that the whole time. And so it's like, use it. Your concern for your friend wants you to not embarrass yourself in front of the damn country. But it seems like, I mean, it feels like that's like the one way that he could kind of do it where, because again, they'll smear him anyway, but like,
right.
that's one way you could try to do it. But then too, all of this kind of brings to question to me, like, with the movement and all these people and everything, there's kind of another gun he has that he could fire.
What's that?
Where you got a bunch of people who are fired up and ready to go for you. What if you're not there? They don't show up. That's the thing they don't ever want him to talk about. They don't ever want him to go there. But it's like, I don't know, man, if you can make that threat and you could end the election by not having your people show up, that's a pretty strong argument. But I don't know. I guess I'm kind of wondering what Bernie's got in him at this point. Sorry, I'm kind of nervous. I've never called a show before.
Hey, well, you're doing a good job, my friend. I appreciate you. And good points. And as you expressed, my friend, I wonder what Bernie's willing to do. I just hope that Bernie sees this as desperate as I do. Like, I really think that Biden would be a horrible. I really do. And I don't think. So now I'm thinking, well, Bernie, if you don't go all the way out, we're going to end up with Trump for 4 more years. And I'm thinking about that, and I'm also comparing that to Biden. And Biden will just do whatever the corporations want him to do. He's not going to fight a lick for anybody. I don't even think he knows how. Well, thank you for the phone call, my friend. I appreciate it. I do. 252. You're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Is this me?
That's you.
Hey, this is Kara from Fayetteville calling you back.
Hey.
Hey, Wolfpack. How y'all doing? I just called because I wanted to talk about, some unpopular opinions that I had, and I put it on Twitter and kind of got roasted for it. But I think they ring true based on what's come out over the last few days. Y'all sitting here thinking that Elizabeth Warren is going to endorse Bernie Sanders. It's not going to happen. It's not. I'm sorry to tell y'all. I'm keeping it real with you. It's not going to happen. Look at how she is in these interviews trashing people that she knows she's got to be around if she were to endorse Bernie Sanders. There's no possible way that is going to work. How are you going to sit up here and one day attack all these Bernie supporters, and then the next day you're going to go up and you're going to be with Bernie, around Bernie supporters? How is that going to work? It's not. I don't think that it's cool the way they're trying to spin it, that he's not for women's rights. He's not popular with blacks. I just think that that's so disingenuous because polls say he leads with blacks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel, Rebecca, when she said that she was so deflated, oh my God, I was so deflated too, because I literally used my car, my time, my gas, and I made sure about 38 people in my community went and voted. Wow. And it really, because I was really passionate about it. And I thought, it's going to make a difference, but it really didn't, because Biden won by like 18 points, double of what Bernie did in my state. And it just was so, disheartening. But I just don't think that, these people should get a pass saying all of these things. Oh, Bernie's not for LGBT rights. He's not for black rights. When he was fighting for these things while Elizabeth Warren was fighting with corporations to make sure we didn't get. You know what I'm saying? She was fighting against consumers, and then she decided, I think as a smart person, she saw, this progressive wave is going to be a big thing. Let me switch up. And then she goes and she does the Consumer Finance Bureau. But then when she becomes a senator, what has she really done for people? I think that people need to think about that. And when you looking at her as if she's our white knight or something, like she's going to come and she's going to save us, she's not. We got to do it ourselves. And that's just all I wanted to say. I want to just put it out there, y'all. Please, please, please do not be demoralized. Keep the faith. Do what you can for the movement. Donate if you can, phone bank. If you can, knock on doors. And that's all I had to say. Thank you for allowing me to call in.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Man, I'm surprised I didn't see you when I was in South Carolina. I was right there in your home state, woman. We were down there. We went to the watch party. Ashley Stevens was there. Google was there. So many people were there, gosh, man, that I ran into. So, yeah, man. Should have came out. But, yeah. It got away. It got away from us. What can I say? But, we live to fight another day, and there will be several more days to come. So we just got to compensate for it as best we can and look towards the future of how we're gonna attack it. But look, what you did was admirable. You gave of your time and yourself and of your gas money and all that good stuff, and it's for a good cause, sister. So thank you for what you did. We're sorry. We're all sorry it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, but we around here, we keep fighting to the bitter end. We don't give in, and we realize it's going to be tough when you're going up against the system and the establishment. So we expect it to be tough, and we're built tough. So we're going to be all right, and we're going to keep going, and we got you. So we know we're going to be all right. Okay. 352. You live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. It's Mitchell, the gecko guy from Florida.
Hey, what's up, Mitchell?
Well, first of all, I'm going to be not that humble because, first of all, 3 years ago, I told my friends that I thought this race was going to be between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, and that's before they even announced they were running. And all my friends are like, no, two old white guys aren't going to be the winners. And I'm like, okay, but I predicted Donald Trump would be president. I predicted that Hillary Clinton would choose Tim Kaine before any of them knew who that was.
Wow.
So screw my friends. So that's, also I said it on your show. You might remember a few months ago, I said, I'm scared that it's going to be between Biden and Bernie. And everybody in the chat, all you burn monsters, all you Johnsons. You guys all made fun of me. You all like said, "Oh, they're there." Well, you guys lived in your little bubbles, and you wanted to post your little snake emojis and say like, "Oh no, Biden's not going to be able to make it. I don't know anybody that's going to be voting for him." Well, now you guys got to step up because it is going to be between Biden and Bernie. And I had a bad. I know I'm probably pissing everybody out in the chat right now.
Here you are.
So I had a bad Super Tuesday just as much as everybody else, but we won California. We didn't win last time, and we're pretty even on the delegates. And after I was done crying and whining, I, with my social anxiety, with no car, called up a friend that I've never met in real life, and she had social anxiety too, and we went out and we canvassed because it mattered. We thought it mattered, and it does matter. So all of you in the chat that were like, "Oh no, Biden couldn't win, Biden's not going to win," y'all got to owe us too. You got to get out and canvass, because I'll tell you, it actually helped my anxiety. We met nothing but boomers here in Florida. Everybody that was young, because the app tells you the age of the people that you're going to go to, their name and everything. Everybody went to. If they were young, they were at work. Only old people answered. And I'll tell you, it did matter, because there was a... What was that?
I fixed it.
Oh,
man.
I think there's an echo.
Yeah, there was an echo.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
We met a few old people that were on the edge. They weren't sure. I met one guy. He said he was leaning Bernie, but his wife was leaning Biden. We talked a little bit. I was just going to let him go. And then his French bulldogs popped their head out of the door. And I was like, "Oh, my God, you guys are so cute." The bulldogs ran up to us. We pet them, and we said, "Oh, these are Bernie voters." The guy had so much fun that he turned to me and said, "I'm going to get my wife to vote for Bernie." So you think you can't make a difference? You can make a difference, guys. And I'm tired of everybody saying, "Oh, I can't canvass. I have too much anxiety. I can't phone bank. I don't have a phone," making all these excuses. Somebody else is going to canvass and phone bank, so I don't have to. Somebody else is going to talk to their parents, so I don't have to talk to my boomer parents. No, no, no. Bernie's not the movement. You're the movement. So get to moving, especially in Michigan with Rebecca. We need Michigan. You can't make it out there, you phone bank. You can't get down to Florida. If you're going to be doing spring break in Florida, come help us. It's spring break. We need the help. Or phone bank for us. We need all the help we can get. All hands on deck, because we're going to win this one. And that's the bottom line, because the Gecko guy said so. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Mitchell. I appreciate it, man. Wow, that's all it takes to play with someone's dogs? Their French poodle, the French, you said poodle, French something. Wow, that's it? French press? No, that was that was Sam. Anyway, yeah, that's all you got to do is play with the puppies? Go play with some puppies, y'all. Come on now. We didn't play with enough puppies. We'd have won South Carolina. I took a lot of puppies. Jim Clyburn was like, "All you black people need to vote for Joe Biden." My dead wife said vote for Joe Biden. If you don't vote for Joe Biden, then you don't love me, you don't love yourself, and you don't love my dead wife. So you get out there and you vote for Joe. We know Joe. Now get out there and vote for Joe. You dumb blacks, hurry up. Don't make me tell you again. And they went out and said, "Jim said we got to vote for Joe." That wasn't funny, but it was funny. You know what I'm saying? Try that up north, Jim. Come to Northern Maryland over here near D.C. with that shit. Yeah, all right, D.C. and Maryland, listen to me. You need to... Shit, they're throwing cans at me. Help! Give out security. Give out security. Yeah, we don't have no Negro whisperers in where I'm come from. We don't need an interpreter to tell us how to think. What should we do, Jim? We don't know how to listen for ourselves. We need you to tell us what we should do. What type of shit is that? So frustrating. 410, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, I'm just making sure it's me because I heard somebody else on. But what's up with you, Holmes? Bro, I am so pissed off, man. I really am, man. First, let me get to Elizabeth Warren, man. I'm so fucking happy she's gone. For real. She did nothing but suck votes from Bernie. She knew she was doing that. I don't give a fuck about Elizabeth Warren, bro. For real. I'm glad she's gone at home, sipping brews with her hubby. I don't want to see her. I'm not even worried about her endorsing Bernie. I don't care if she endorsed Biden, bro. Like, for real, I don't care. I don't want to see her anymore, man. She stabbed my man in the back, and that's sad seeing the old dude who's thinking everybody is friend. He's being nice to everybody, and then she go and do something like that. You know what I mean? That's like watching somebody get jumped. You know what I mean? Like that's not right, man. You know what I mean? Nah, I don't fuck with that type of shit. But man, South Carolina in the South. Oh my goodness, Jim Clyburn is a straight up sellout for real. And I'm gonna say this, and it might not be popular, but I'm gonna say it any goddamn way. The blacks, a lot of the blacks, not all of them, a lot of them are brainwashed as fuck, for real. You know what I mean? Nah, fuck that, Tim. They are, man.
Damn, dog.
This dude Clyburn got on the stage talking about some. I know Joe Biden. We know Joe Biden. If my wife was alive, she would vote for Joe Biden. Nobody want to hear that dumb shit. How do you know who your wife will vote for? She's gone. You don't know. You know what I mean? She might have told you one thing and probably thought another. You know what I mean? But the blacks, oh my God, I was so pissed off, Tim. I got to tell you, man. Oh, man, it broke my heart. For real, man. Super Tuesday, man, I was sad as hell. The only thing recent that I could compare that to, bro, was Kobe's death, bro. I was like, fuck me, man.
Wow.
What the fuck? Wow. You know what I mean? Like, for real, a lot of the country, the southern blacks down there, bro, a lot of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of them, they are, you know what I mean? They just don't care. Like, Obama's their God, man. You know what I mean? They don't care about what Joe Biden did. You know what I mean? If you come to them and be like, hey, you canvassing, hey, Bernie has this plan, that plan. This will help. This will help you. This will help your family. This will help everybody. They'd be like, I don't want that free shit. I don't trust free shit. That's crazy. But they'll vote for a guy who was very flawed just because he was Obama's vice president, man. It's just crazy, man. It had to be said, man. And it got to come from me. I don't care, man. That's the truth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Bernie, he needs to stop the my friend shit. The my friend shit ain't working. When Joe Biden is going around his rallies and doing his thing, he ain't talking about you like you his friend. He's clowning you. He's dogging you. Stop calling somebody your friend. He probably going around telling people, man, I ain't this motherfucker's friend. I don't know why the fuck he called me his friend. I ain't his friend. We just work together. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Get your mind right, Bernie. For real, man. Stop with that soft shit. But I do like the fact. I do like what he's doing. You know what I mean? I like that he had a press conference and all that. You know what I mean? And he's like really pointing out the differences. You know what I mean? He went to Michigan and he's telling he got auto workers and people who's from Detroit, and he brought them all together who used to work at like the auto plants, and he's telling people, hey, Biden voted for this, Biden voted for that. He's explaining to people what it was, what he did, and how it affected people. I like that. He got to keep doing that. He got to storm the airwaves and the TVs, the TV stations with ads. He got to do that, man. Like, for real. I already know he's not going to go at Joe Biden, talk about Hunter Biden and all that. Right. You know what I mean? Right. We got to get over that. That's not him. But, you know, he got to keep ramming that into people's heads, man. You know what I mean? Because shit is crazy. You know what I mean? These people coalesced and they said, fuck you. We're going to go with Joe Biden, and we're going to do it right in front of your face. And when you confront me about it, we're going to say we didn't do anything. That's how they doing. You know what I mean? So he has to pull all the stops and like take the leash off of those people that's on your team. Not a leash, but you know what I mean?
What you mean.
You gotta let them go.
Let
man,
them go. Let them go.
They ready to go. You know what I mean? They are ready to go. You know what I mean? You gotta let them go. Nina Turner, she like for real, she's frothing out of the mouth, man. She's ready to tear some heads up. You gotta let her go, man. For real.
Right.
If you don't want to say anything, cool, but let them do your dirty work. You know what I mean? You got some mercenaries on your team. Let them do your dirty work, bro. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna hold you up, big dog. Love you. You know what I mean? Bro. Oh yeah, hey, I got jumped in Palmer Park, Holmes. That shit don't feel good.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
For real.
I know exactly what you're talking about, too. All right, family, 202. Yeah, that's 202 up there, not too far from Landover, over there, Bright Sea Road type area. One of my best friends is from Palmer Park. Palmer Park, Maryland, y'all. Yeah, Tim Black, he had some scrapes, man. Had some scrapes. Yes, sir. But yeah, I agree with you as far as I agree with like 99% of what you said. That it's real talk. Like maybe everything. Yeah, but the time for civil, all that stuff's out the window. In fact, guys, I'll tell you this. Now, there have been people who said, Tim Black, you can't say this, you can't say that. You're unofficially a part of the Bernie Sanders campaign. I'm like, ain't no such thing as unofficially a part of something. You're either an employee or you're not. You're either a part of something or you're not. I'm not, okay? I say whatever the hell I want to say anytime. I don't have no bosses. I'm not looking for no job. You wanna bring me on your platform, or you wanna work out a deal where we work together on something? Fine. But I don't work for nobody, dog. I already did that. I did that for 30 years. I work for me now. And I say what the hell I want to say. And I ain't gonna be silenced or none of this civility shit. I'm gonna call it what I see it, the way I see it, however I see it, whenever I see it. That's just how it is. So, but I know that there are people who watch this show, guys, from all walks of life, from all campaigns. And a lot of what we say, people relish in it because they know it's true. You don't think people don't agree with the caller who just spoke? There are people who agree exactly with everything that you said there. They're happy to see Elizabeth Warren gone. They do see her as backstabbing. There's a reason why the snake thing caught on, because that's how she was seen. Backstabbing. That's how it was seen. So what's Bernie going to do now? I hope he's going to be a lot more aggressive. He has to be. But the thing is, Bernie, I imagine Bernie's going to stay true to topic. He's going to stay on the core issues, and that's where he's going to keep it. But luckily, we got Biden, who has a grocery list of problems, a grocery list of issues you can bring up. So it's going to be up to independent media to help circulate that information, because you know they're not going to call it out. Rachel Maddow spent all her time talking about Bernie supporters. No failings of Elizabeth Warren at all were discussed about her campaign, about her flip-flopping on certain proposals that may have knocked her own air out of her sails. Had nothing to do with her being a woman. She was leading as a woman. She was in the top 3 as a woman, and she failed. Why? You can't say all of that was because of emojis. That's impossible. All right, I'm going to next call. Thank you for the phone call, my friend. Yeah. 425, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Papa Wolf. How's it going? Chad here in Seattle.
What's up, Chad? How you feeling, man?
Well, I'm feeling as though I don't got the coronavirus. So there's that.
There's that,
for
brother.
sure.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, it's getting a little, weird out there, so I'm just trying not to interact with the locals, if you know what I mean. But, I just voted for Bernie, so feeling good about that. And you got some awesome callers calling in.
Yeah.
Some really, really awesome callers. Like Rebecca from Lansing, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she's got that hit on the nail. Look, I know it's not popular. I'm just going to break it out there nice and brushed, though. But truly, really, I think they cheated all across the board. I don't think anybody in their right mind thinks that one day in advance Biden flipped his switch and all of a sudden they were like, bees to the honey hive. Oh, let's go vote for the man. Let's go see those dentures fall out of his lovely lips. Oh, I can't wait to see that man. They don't even show up to his rallies. So I don't think that's real. I think he had a big block in South Carolina. I think that was real. I don't think it was the biggest block, though. I mean, they've got the Soros machines down there. That one vote can be 0.8 real quick and easy. And there's nobody going over there with some nerd glasses, perking them up, taking a look, saying, oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, she's purring nice and pretty. Nothing going on here. Nothing at all. But, you know, there's also the tall tale sale of what went on there in Massachusetts. That was the tell. He walked out of there with an exit poll of something like 30-something%. That was his state, and they stole it from us. So I think that's the fire. Put the ire in the fire, right? That's what the Gecko guy was talking about, right?
Right.
So I think he's got it right. I got anxiety too. You know, I'm not trying to interact with a whole bunch of people right now at all. But he's right. I used to work in D.C. My main haunt was over there in Pennsylvania Avenue. I used to work on D Street. I used to be knocking on doors and asking for a ton of flow from people, and they would give it to me too. And there's nothing more electric than coming away with a $1,000 check. You will be shaking your booty like thunder, dude. You're going to be like, yeah, I just did that. Absolutely. So it's not as hard as that, right? I mean, that's big money. You know, you got to like sharpen it up if you're going to be out there doing a progressive work like that. But, you know, knocking on doors and talking to people and playing with dogs is awesome. So I think we should all be doing that. Let's all wake up tomorrow, go to work, go in there, flip everybody off and say, you know what? You can suck a big bureaucratic, democratic dick. I'm going to go work for Bernie. Fuck y'all. And peace out. You have a great rest of your show, dude.
All right, brother. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate it, man. Chad said, I don't know if I'm going to do that. But Chad, love your work, Johnson. All right, we're going to next call. 410. 410, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, this is Uncle Ron. How you doing, man?
Uncle Ron, man, what's going on, guy? I seen you laying down some fire online, brother. How are you?
Oh, I am. I've just been doing my thing. I'm glad to talk to you. It's been a while, but I'm there every day, and I'm just like everybody else. If there's anybody that knows Jim Clyburn, please send this to him, okay? I'm sorry that you are the house Negro down there in South Carolina. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the people that follow you, okay? We know what you really have done to the people, no different than what the Congressional Black Caucus did in 2016. You are selling out your own people. And you people down in South Carolina, Louisiana, Mississippi, you all have got to realize the shackles are off. Ooh. You're not going to get lynched. You got to start rising up. Things do not need to stay the way they were. There's no reason for it. There's absolutely no reason for it. Only in Georgia is it going to be halfway decent.
Wow.
And you hit the head on the nail when you said the South doesn't matter. It does not matter come general election day. And as long, that's one of Bernie's biggest arguments that he could make. You whitewash me, just like 2016. But actually, I added up the numbers. I added up the numbers of all the states so far compared to last year, Tim. He's only behind 30 points, maybe?
Yep.
Because they haven't finished California.
Yep.
He was behind 200 and something. After Super Tuesday last time around, he was a couple of hundred behind, and he never caught up.
Right.
Bernie's in a good position.
He is.
He is in a good position.
Absolutely.
And that snake.
Oh no.
Okay, up in Massachusetts. The reason that she's a snake is because she is a snake. That's why she lost. That's why she lost. All the momentum that she had was because she's a turncoat. And she doesn't realize that. I feel bad for her because she's gonna be like a ship without a port. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know that those establishment people are going to trust you. And Bernie people, progressives are never going to. I would love to see her play this out. She's only got one play, and that's to get on her knees and beg. And for somehow, she's got to go back to being progressive. And I don't even know that we want her because she can't be trusted.
There it is.
She can't be trusted. But that's I want my people, I can't wait until the North starts to vote a little bit more. Bernie's in good shape. I want everybody to keep that power going. I'm going to start canvassing. I'm going to stop sending my few pennies in, and I'm going to start canvassing. I've already applied online. And the other thing is, Tim, I'm going to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
All right?
Yes.
I'm going to Milwaukee, and I want everybody on this line to understand we can't have 100,000 like we did in Philly. We can't. We need to have 500,000 or more.
Wow.
Easy. You know what I'm saying, Tim. The streets can't have gaps in them when the people are marching. Those streets need to be filled. And that DNC needs to be shaken.
Hey.
And we're going to be in the North. I'll talk to you later, brother.
All right, family. Thank you, Uncle Ron. I appreciate the phone call, man. Yeah, that's right. Tell these people what it is, man. Like, there's a lot of defeatist, like, attitudes I saw online last couple of weeks. I mean, I went out here to try to combat it. Guys, it's a battle. Dude, like, I like Rolling Stone, right? Matt Taibbi, Katie Halper, one of my favorite shows, right? So, no way am I affiliated. I follow both of them. They follow me back, and I just love their work, okay? Period. And I threw that in there because they make me look good, that I follow cool people. But, like, yo, Matt Taibbi said this. He's like, if Bernie can't beat Joe Biden, like, he should be chomping at the bit to go after Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a layup. He's a layup. Guy's horrible. Bernie should pick him apart. It's easy. Easy. He has policies that hurt people. Oh, it's a little tricky because Bernie doesn't want to take a dump on Obama. Trump ain't going to have that problem. Okay? He'll make light work out of tying Biden to Obama, and it'll be over. Then he'll tie Biden to all his bad policies over the years, it'll be over. It'll take all the moral arguments off the table. All of the gaslighting they done about Trump, some warranted, some not warranted, all that's off the table. It's not going to take much for Bernie to go after him. What you got? Bernie said something Obama said about Castro. Oh, no. We got Joe Biden throwing black women under the bus in front of a room full of white guys.
90 seconds.
We got Joe Biden making comments about black kids. Joe Biden making comments about poor people. Joe Biden talking about cutting entitlements, Social Security, Medicare. Like, the list goes on. His votes for the trades. His votes for war. The dude was basically a Dixiecrat. It's all there. It's all ripe for the picking. So we need to just all liven up a little bit.
Seconds.
Liven up a little bit. And recognize it. It's going to be hard. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be hard. But I feel like Joe Biden is ripe for the picking. And then Bernie, he can do this. He can do this. And I believe that his team is going to get him in shape to do this. Put him right in the middle mindset. The killer mindset. He got to be a killer. He got to be like Arnold, was it Arnold, the professional? And just be an executor. He's got to execute. He's got to deliver on Joe Biden. All right, guys. 5:03. You're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim. This is Tammy from Oregon.
Hey, Tammy. What's on your mind, Tammy?
I'm calling today because I watched your segment on Rachel Maddow and the question she had for Bernie.
Gotcha.
And she had my blood pressure all the way up. you know, it really pissed me off that she would ask such a dumb question about how mean Bernie's supporters are to Elizabeth Warren with the snake emojis, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, we're trying to fight for Medicare for all and living wages, and people are hurting. People are struggling. People, you know, have been hurting for decades.
Right.
And she wants to focus on stupid-ass snake emojis. Give me a break. And when Bernie said, well, he said something to the effect that, you know, we Bernie supporters also receive stuff back from Elizabeth supporters, and she brushed that shit off. She was like, oh, I'm not talking about what's coming in. I'm talking about what's going out. Really? Really? So the abuse that we're taking means nothing,
right.
You know, but how dare us attack, you know, the female person running for, you know, because she has a uterus and he has a penis. It's different, you know, how dare us? Never once did she, and I'm sure she doesn't even give a damn. Where was the comment or the commentary on the fact that there was a Nazi flying a Nazi flag at one of his rallies? You know, the possible first Jewish president in U.S. history, and they're flying Nazi flags at his rallies. She didn't have shit to say about that. I haven't heard anything about that on mainstream media. Not a damn word. And it pissed me off to no end. It's like, of all the things that they are focusing on, you know, meanwhile, we have real substantive issues that, you know, people can't pay. People are dying. Yep. They're rationing their medicine and they're dying. And all she cares about is snake emojis. She needs to go. She's garbage, absolute garbage. And also, I wanted to thank, I don't think he was your last caller, but the one before that, Uncle Ron, yes. I think his name was.
Yes.
He really got me pumped, and I wanted to thank him for his words, and he really made me feel better, because after Super Tuesday, I was really feeling defeated, you know, and I kept trying to tell myself, don't let him steal my cornbread, but, you know, it was hard. So I wanted to thank him, and thank you for speaking truth to power, and I can always come to your show, you know, your station, and watch your segments, and you always make me feel better. So thanks a lot, Tim.
And thank you for the phone call, Tammy. You made us feel better yourself. Yeah, nice shot in the arm. Have a lady speak out on behalf of Bernie Sanders. And for some reason that, you know, that really hits home when it's from another woman who's calling out the hypocrisy of Rachel Maddow and Elizabeth Warren, making this about gender. When, I mean, I went hard at Elizabeth Warren, but it was always out of fun. I mean, me doing, gee willikers. Fiddly sticks, like, you know, but I did Cory Booker. I did actually, I think who called it the worst for me is Bloomberg. But there is no discrimination. There's no just focus on the ladies. Like, you know, hey, you know, everybody gets it. So to make it seem like it's just one, like it's just Elizabeth. No, man, equal opportunity. Everybody gets it here. And that's how it should be. And maybe it's that Bernie has more support. This is one of the issues I brought up before, Tammy. It's like, well, when you have 10 million online supporters following you just on Twitter, Bernie Sanders has more Twitter followers than Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden combined. So maybe it does seem like a lot, an onslaught, when you don't have the type of support. Hell, those two combined, plus throw in Amy Klobuchar. Like, he has, that's how much support he has online. And that's not even counting Facebook, which I think is his largest platform, actually. So anyway, but thank you, Tammy, for keeping it real and calling it like you see it. 612, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, my name is Doug from Minneapolis.
Doug, talk to me, Doug.
Joe Biden went off on a rant where he said something about, let's see, black kids don't hear enough words, and the parents need to turn on the record player, that sort of thing. And that harkens back to a theory that a lot of people were talking up 20 years ago, which to the effect that say black kids in high schools are stupid because they didn't hear enough words growing up.
Oh, okay.
Or early on. See, that's a really, and I've run for school board in Minneapolis a whole bunch of times going back 20 years, and I pay attention to this shit. And what Biden's talking points, he laid out a lot of the talking points that accompany that theory. So anyway,
wow. I
don't think very highly of the guy, obviously, especially on education. But it's actually his that kind of shit is actually fairly mainstream, or used to be not long ago.
Right.
And people don't. I think it kind of goes under a lot of people's radars. They don't recognize it for what it is. There's also an issue in education that gets overlooked a lot, is that teachers after they're hired are retained in very small numbers or by a low percentage, through their probationary period. You have very high turnover, and these new teachers and the high turnover is affecting predominantly black students and other marginalized people of color. And that's a really big thing, and it's a real destructive thing. And, it just, it's part of this and actually it reinforces this neo-liberal school reform project of deprofessionalizing the teaching profession, de-skilling the teaching profession, de-unionizing it, and charterizing the school system. Mm-hmm. And so it's, those things are kind of linked together, and it needs to be, we need to have a different, we need to have a alternate agenda to fight that stuff, because it's not really being effectively resisted.
Well, thank you, Doug, for the phone call, my friend, and I appreciate shining light on what Joe Biden was really trying to say. I think a lot of people dismissed it as being cuckoo talk, but what you're saying is that there's a tinge of bigotry and marginalization inside of his words, and that's important to point out, and that people in your profession know it very clearly for what it was. He was saying that black kids are ignorant, and it's the failure of their communities, not a failure of our system, which relies on tax revenue in order to fund schooling. And then when you have greenlining, or redlining, I should say, couple that with the tax structure, the tax base of the community, you end up with that high turnover that you talk about, where teachers are just like anybody else. They want to go work at schools that pay more money. And if what you pay the teacher is dependent on what the tax base is of the area, and you got apartments and not homeowners, and you have gentrification and all of it, so it's a lot. So thank you, Doug, for your comments, my friend. 912, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Ashley Loren from the Florida-Georgia line.
Wow, Ashley. What's on your mind, Ashley Loren?
Oh, my goodness. This week, all I have to say about the South Carolina effect, we need to pray. If you're Christian, you're Hindu, whatever religion you are, call up to that person or persons or whoever. We need some extra spirits going on to unblind these people. And my second point, it kind of goes along with the other callers, some of the other callers. okay, a lot of black people voted for Biden. And you hear on a lot of black YouTube channels that these congressional black caucus people, they don't pay attention to us black people. All they do is help the Latinos, yada, yada, yada. Well, if you go out and vote for somebody like Biden, I feel like you're giving people permission to just railroad you again and not pay attention to you again and not take you seriously. That's my thought. And then my last thing is, do you have any update on the delegate allocation in California? Like I see there's like 200 or so delegates that still haven't been rewarded. I don't understand what's going on. Maybe they're still counting the vote. I don't get it. And that's all I wanted to say.
Well, thank you, Ashley, for the comment, and I appreciate it. I saw something just before I went to air, and people are upset about it because it looks like there is at least a portion of the California allocation that say that Joe Biden won another 12 delegates or something. And I don't know where that number came from. Not sure exactly what's going on, but there's a dust up right now about how those delegates are being allocated. So I don't have more on that. But we should get more of that over the weekend. Also, as far as the black vote in South Carolina, I'm so at a loss of what we can really do to educate folks. I realize now it's not just about, this is something I came to realize like 6 months ago or a year ago. It's not enough to put out great content. You have to have a delivery mechanism that is effective in order to make sure the content gets in the eardrums, in the eyes, in the awareness of the people that you're trying to target. So we put out great content on independent media, and then we rely on YouTube's algorithms to disseminate that content. Part of my plan is to put content in the hands of people and then give them the mechanism to share that content with friends and family in a more conducive, more in an easier way. So that's what I'm working on. And I'm also, guys, we have to have money to target, to market. So something that I've been doing lately is putting aside a certain portion of the money that I raise on my show, via Patreon or via selling of T-shirts or what have you. A portion of that goes directly into advertising the show to new people as they watch other types of content. Because, like I stated, it's not enough to put out great content if people never get to see it. I still believe the majority of people, and I know there are people who won't listen, I get it, but there's still a lot of people out there who just don't have access to the information. They watch their local news. They don't even watch Rachel. They watch their local news. Their local news doesn't tell them anything about all of these issues. Right? So we're going to have to come up with ways, strategic ways, creative ways to reach more people to give them access to the information. I feel like that's my job. That's what I have to work on. Not making this, like this video looks great. Nice, pretty, sounds pretty good. You got great graphics, got cool intros. But how many people am I reaching with it? And are any of the people I'm reaching, am I just preaching to the choir or am I reaching new people? And what do I do about that? So I've teamed up with Business Bully, for instance, who's on different platforms like Roku and Amazon Fire Stick to try to reach new audiences that way. Because I have to get the word out. He was like, how much do you want? Now, dude, I just need to be in front of more people. I gotta spread the message. So anybody with ideas about that, because that's what we need to do for this show to help the people. If not, I might as well go back into IT, where I know I can keep my people living indoors and we can do so safely. And, or are we going to really try to do something? Are we really trying to change? Are we really going to do this, or are we just going to have fun? I want to do this. So if you got ideas on how we reach more people, not just tinkering around the edges of the show's pretty good. We need to reach new people. We need to reach those folks. So let's put our heads together and work on that part of it. The email address is tim@timblacktv.com. If you have suggestions, if you have expertise in that arena, let me know. But thank you, Ashley. I appreciate you. And yeah, praying is cool too. 619. 619, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's good, Tim?
What up?
You hear me?
I hear you, my friend. What's on your mind?
It's great to hear. It's great to hear from you, man. It's great to hear from you. First of all, I'm a jazz musician. I love the fact you got jazz on your intros, and I want to say rest in peace to McCoy Tyner.
Wow.
I don't know if people may not know who McCoy Tyner is, but if you don't know, please look him up. Play with John Coltrane Quartet, and he changed the game.
Wow.
So just wanted to start off by saying that. Sorry if anyone's just hearing the news. And in terms of what's happening in the political world, it's great to call into your show and to hear so many people express what I'm feeling. And so it's nice to have that community. So I want to thank you for hosting and for bringing us all together. I heard Cornel West give a great speech. I think it was in Michigan, Detroit, and I think one thing that people are saying that I really agree with is that the gloves are off, and we have to really go all in right now. I think now, as you mentioned, it wasn't quite the time before, but now it's a showdown. I see it like Star Wars. It's like the Empire Strikes Back. It's like they're pulling out all the stops right now in terms of the establishment, and we are witnessing the death of the Democratic establishment. And it's not pretty. And they're trying everything to stop the people ultimately. From making real change that will prevent them from the endless fundraising that has become, one of the main characteristics of politics. And I think that one thing that I just want to say is that I'm very hopeful that things will, now that it's just finally down to Bernie and Biden, which I think in my mind it was always between them two. But now that everyone else has dropped out, I think that we also have to understand that they very well may steal this from Bernie with superdelegates. I actually really don't see it being a situation where it goes to the second ballot and they give it to Bernie. As much as it really hates for me to see that, even if he has a plurality, I just think at this point, considering everything they've done to cheat him up to this point, I just really don't see them just handing it over to him in that way as superdelegates. So keeping that in mind, I think we have to all really start thinking about a new party, a progressive party, and just thinking that, unfortunately, I don't want to be cynical. Like, I'm very optimistic, but I think we also have to have the plan B. And just think like, okay, what do we do in this case? Hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but I think that we should start just thinking about a progressive party. And, there's been so many great things said, and I want to let other callers get on, so I don't want to talk too much. But also just want to say that everything you've been saying about Elizabeth Warren, I completely agree with, and it really we have to just explain to her supporters that if you really are for these progressive policies, then we welcome you, and realize that a lot of the supporters are also just against Bernie and kind of saw her as a new Hillary. So that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to go on too much. I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much, Tim. I'm going to email you some music. I want you to check out some of my music and see if you want to use some of it on your program as well. So
absolutely, my brother. Let me know, man.
My call.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for your phone call. I appreciate it. I'm going to save my comments for later, but I thank you. Tim at TimBlackTV.com, my friend. I appreciate it. 803. 803, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? 803. You've been in queue for a while, 803, so I want to give you a couple. Hey.
Yo.
Yo.
Oh, snap. What's going on, Tim? Yo, man, this is Google, man.
What's up, Google? How you feeling, man?
Hey man, great. Hey yo man, thanks for coming down to South Carolina, man. Hanging up. What is it? The South Carolina primary party.
No doubt,
even though it didn't go out the way we wanted it to. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it was good to see somebody who I learned a lot from. But man, yeah, man. You know what, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, man, like I know I'm going back to something that was, you know, well over a week old, man. But it's just really kind of. You know, it's just really kind of just wowing me, man, the way that the Democratic Party is just flat out admitting that they're willing to damage the party. They're willing to damage the party to get their way, just to prevent Bernie Sanders from even getting the nomination. But you know what, though? The silver lining is, you know, we got something in common. I'm willing to damage the damn party, too. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I haven't even heard about that. You know what I'm saying? If they're willing to damage the party to get their way, you know what I mean? I think what they're really doing is showing the American people. They're really proving to us just how low and dirty they can get. They're really proving like how much of a farce that our democracy really is. So in a way, I really kind of welcome that silver lining, but also I think I speak for a lot of us, and I think I'm speaking for you too on this, is that our politics don't stop at Bernie Sanders. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a fan of Bernie Sanders. You know, I fell in love with the policies of 2015. But the thing is that, you know what I'm saying, win or lose, people had to already know that, like, first of all, this was never going to be easy. It never was. You know what I mean? We're fighting against a lot of moneyed interests. A lot of these, like these politicians, these so-called public servants, like they're showing you just by the fact that they're willing to destroy the party. You know what I'm saying? These blue no matter who folks, just the fact that they're willing to destroy the party, they're showing you that, you know what I'm saying, that they don't serve the public, they're serving private interests. So the fact of the matter is, we have to understand that, like right from the beginning, win or lose, we have to be prepared. Like all these DSA chapters are popping up everywhere, or like or you know what I'm saying, or just any type of third party. Shit, I don't give a shit if it's I don't give a shit if it's a conservative populist. You know what I'm saying? We need to start getting, you know, some people like private parties, third parties, alternate parties need to start freaking, you know, getting involved at the local level. You know what I mean? We need to start getting involved at the local. We need to turn back to the idea of all, you know what I'm saying, all politics are local. You know, so all that shit, I'm 44 years old now. You know, so all that shit was gone by the time I was born. We need to bring it back to that. We need to bring it back to that. But the most important thing, we need to get these bastards in Congress out. You know what I mean? That's the only way things going to change. You're not going to foment an incredible change that you know what I'm saying, in the general presidential election. But the thing is, the reason why I want to get Bernie Sanders in now is that it will send a message to the Democratic Party. It will send a message to the Democratic Party that we're just fucking tired of business as usual. We're tired of the status quo. So that's the reason why I'm out here stumping for Bernie now. But anyway, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I'm running my kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I was able to get this out without the stuttering, man. I'm drinking on some strong, you said, man, some good ass goddamn, this wine about the 10.5. Woo. Anyway, man, I'm going, brother. Hey, yo, man, hey, it was a pleasure. It's a pleasure running to you, man. I need to see you. Yo, I can't wait to see you again, brother. So I know we're going to work again together soon. I know it. I see this in the future, brother.
Absolutely.
And you hold it down, man.
Absolutely, Google. Thank you so much for the call, brother. Good to hear from you, man. And just be safe with that drink, man. We love you, and it was a great meeting you as well in South Carolina, my friend, and as well as the other brothers that were there who I wanted to, that I had an opportunity to meet, man. Amazing people, man. Good people, man. And I understand, and I respect what you're saying. Like, Bernie's gonna take the gloves off, hopefully, in this last leg of this race, seeing how important it is. And look, this is not about. It's not show friends, it's show business. And you're right. We got public servants serving private interests. Oh, I love that one. That's a good one. Power concedes nothing without a demand. So what we're going to do is we got to go and we got to make our demands. So thank you, Google, for that phone call. Moving on. 503. 503, you're live on Freedom Friday. How you doing?
Oh.
Talk to me, 503, you're live. 503.
Is it me?
That's you, my friend, yes.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
First time caller.
Welcome.
I just wanted to thank you
And a shout out to the Humanist Report for mentioning your show.
Humanist, my brother Mike.
Yes. Yep. Here in Oregon. What I wanted to share is I saw a segment this morning. I don't know if it was old or new, about Nina Turner being challenged on what she was saying about white moderates.
Yes.
Man, I had an eye-opening experience reading MLK's letter from Birmingham this morning. I think more people should take some homework and read what he wrote back then. If you would indulge me, I just want to read a little piece about what he wrote.
Sure.
Okay. In the letter from Birmingham jail, this is back April 1963, he says, "First, I must confess that over the past few years, I've been gravely disappointed with the white moderate. I have almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in his stride toward freedom is not the white citizen's counselor or the Ku Klux Klanner, but the white moderate, who is more devoted to quote-unquote order than to justice, who prefers a negative peace, which is the absence of tension, to a positive peace, which is the presence of justice, who constantly says, 'I agree with you in the goal you seek, but I cannot agree with your methods of direct action,' who paternalistically believes he can set the timetable for another man's freedom, who lives by a mythical concept of time, and who constantly advises the Negro to wait for a more convenient season." Just a second. "Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. Lukewarm acceptance is much more bewildering than outright rejection."
Wow.
Man, when I read that this morning, it spoke to me so much about the whole Joe Biden Bernie situation, where he associate Bernie with the word he keeps on associating his campaign with, is justice. And Biden, who the hell knows what he represents? But it was just so profound, and it I was ashamed, actually, from my Florida education. It's like, man, how did I not know that MLK, wrote these kind of messages back in the day?
Yes.
And how profound it is, even now. And, okay, so that was the historical piece that I wanted to share. On the future piece, this has been very therapeutic, this call, let me tell you, because this week has been pretty rough after the Nevada high to, the Wednesday morning low. But Emma Vigeland of, I think, Rebel HQ, the Young Turks, she did a live segment. She did the quick math about hitting the majority, that it's a really rough path for Bernie to actually hit it. And previous callers talking about third parties, that's what I've been thinking. Like, man, is that a possibility for the Bernie or busters to encourage Bernie to actually go independent? I don't know if that's even possible. Thanks for giving me the time.
No problem. Thank you for the phone call, my friend. Wow. Well, yeah, there's a book by Cornel West. It's called The Radical King. I think it's called Radical King, which goes over a lot of underreported, underpublicized statements and speeches given by Dr. King that are more radical than the ones that we hear in the I Have a Dream speeches. People should check it out. One of the most despicable things about the woman who made the comments to Senator Nina Turner is that Senator Nina Turner is a professor, and she talked to Nina Turner as if she was just, someone who had no comprehension of Dr. King's speeches or the purpose of those speeches or the contents of those speeches, which was, insulting and borderline, not even borderline. It was insulting and bigoted of her. I don't think she would do that with everyone. Right? So, be that as it may, Hillary Rosen got her comeuppance. And shout out to the Humanist Report, and my condolences to Michael in his time of grief. Young man. All right. 352. 352, you're live.
Hi, this is... Hey, Tim.
Hey.
Hey, Tim. This is Fritz from Florida.
Hey, Fred. What's on your mind, my friend?
I just want to say, with one of your callers, she was talking about the swastika. There was one person who actually talked about it. It was actually Chris Hayes on his show.
Good.
Tonight, so
good.
At least we got one.
Right.
And back to Rebecca, 27 rings. All right, from New York. Sorry. With Biden, I don't see why a lot of people don't recognize that we already had a replay of Biden back in the early 80s, Reagan. And most people don't see it. Like, he's going to be another Reagan where they're going to puppet him. And for me, it reminds me of Phil Collins' Land of Confusion every time I see Biden. He reminds me of Grandpa Simpson every time he talks. So that's just how I feel with Biden. And Warren, she's the librarian. Nobody respects her because she's kind of the librarian telling you, hey, return your books, and just whatever. Anyway, with her. So it is. She is a librarian. With going back to Nina Turner, the amazing Nina Turner, I can't believe a white woman would dare open her mouth telling us anything about Martin Luther King, saying we don't have the right. Then who has the right? That's pretty much my peeve. I just want to see your opinion on both, all three of those people.
Goodness gracious, brother. Thank you for the phone
call. For the call.
Thank you, Fred. I
Thank
appreciate you. I put out a video on the topic of Nina Turner. It's doing very well. I expect it to do very well over the weekend. I left no punch unthrown, no glass unbroken when I approached that subject. So believe me, I went in. And people were like, Tim, that's the Tim we love. Because I did that, and then I did a Rachel Maddow segment, similar to the one I did here tonight, about her questioning of Rachel Maddow, focusing on niceties of the Bernie Sanders campaign, as opposed to poverty, Medicare, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, war, anything that we care about. She didn't even mention the coronavirus. She just, hey, people making emojis, Bernie. Don't you feel bad about it? So anyway, I'm going to go to the next call, man. But thank you so much, Fred. I got a whole video. Go to my channel, guys. Don't forget to go to my channel and watch the content, please. Because I got stuff up there. You're going to like it. 516. You're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, hi. It's me. Oh, thank you, Tim Black. You're doing great work. Great work.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Keep it up. My comment tonight has to do with Bernie, and I hope he isn't being naive. Now, I have a way that I look at Barack Obama. I look at him pretty much the same way as I've always seen Elizabeth Warren. I see them as very brilliant politicians who are well-versed in progressive rhetoric with no action accompanying the talk. Now, recently on Rachel Maddow, Senator Sanders said that he does not consider Barack Obama to be part of the establishment. That kind of didn't rub me well, because I still remember in 2016 where Barack Obama met with Senator Sanders in the White House to try to talk him out of the race and to endorse Hillary.
Right.
And word is out that Barack Obama gave Pete Buttigieg a call before all of those other fake candidates dropped out and endorsed Biden, because they were never really there for the race. They had other plans, as they demonstrated very clearly. And a whole bunch of Obama's camp people joined in to endorse Biden. To endorse Biden. So my concern is, the way Sanders responded to Rachel, I am concerned that just as he was he seemed to have found himself flat-footed.
What would you think?
When Elizabeth Warren.
Excuse me, sir. We kind of pressed for time. What would you have liked for Obama? What would you like for Bernie to have said?
Honestly, I can't even say. I think that was a trick question by Rachel, where she asked him directly if he was part of the establishment. I'm
Right.
just hoping that he isn't caught flat-footed, was the case with Warren.
Well, what should he say? I'm asking you. If you're saying he didn't answer the way you think he should answer, what do you think he should say? I think there's no way he wins that argument. But do you realize how likable Obama is to the electorate that he needs votes from? You got to remember that.
Yeah, I do. He is actually a much more popular. He's a much more popular Jim Clyburn, a kingmaker, and I'm not sure how it can be handled. But I'm hoping that he can avoid a situation where Obama comes out, endorses Biden, because I'm watching all his Obama's moves so far, and I'm concerned about that happening and the campaign not knowing what to do.
Okay. Well, thank you for your comments, my brother. I just think that sometimes we've got to realize how dangerous these waters are. I mean, if we don't want Bernie alienating potential voters, taking a shot at Obama, Obama's not running for anything. What you want to do is get off the subject as quickly as possible, mitigate the damage, and hope that your supporters realize that slashing away at the first black president is not a good way to attract more black voters who you're going to need in the general, or let alone to even get out of the primary. So to hold him accountable for that and say you didn't, you got to remember the Rose Garden, remember this, remember that. Yeah, he remember. I'm pretty sure he remembers. Come on, guys. Let's get a guy some credit. I'm pretty sure Bernie remembers getting stabbed in the back, man. It's not like he doesn't remember, but it only hurts him to bring it up now. What do people expect? Do people really expect Bernie to be Trump? Trump had one play: break everything. That's the only method. That's the only way he could ever win. He was an outsider. He wasn't in the Senate. He had nothing to lose. And he was just an outsider calling bullshit on everything. Bernie can't run that way. That's the last, to me, that would be the last ditch, like Hail Mary, to just be like, Obama's a crook, like as they tackle him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, guys, I'm going to the next call. I understand the frustration. I think they are thinking about what they're going to do if Obama endorses Biden. I mean, gosh, guys. You really think the campaign's not thinking about that, Fred? You really think they don't think? I know I'm thinking about it, and I'm not them, but I don't get paid to think about it. But I'm sure they're thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Just what to do about it. You can't stop him, except cry foul. I think it will hurt Biden more than it will help him, unless Bernie gives him a reason. All right, we're going to next call, man. I thank you for your opinion and your phone call, though, my brother. 608, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, hi. I'm a first-time caller, and I'm calling from Wisconsin. And I know there are quite a number of people, so I will be fairly quick. I'm not critical of the people of the Southerners who voted the way they did in South Carolina.
Okay.
What really disappointed me as a black female is that they did not receive anything for their vote. They didn't get any kind of policy guarantees from Biden. And that's where I really fault James Clyburn. You're playing with, you're at the casino, you're playing with my money, not yours, and I don't get any, and they didn't get anything for it. And, Southern blacks, and I know I'm generalizing here, but they have to realize that politics is an exchange. You just don't give your vote away. The conditions in the South, they're horrible. in some areas,
Yep.
and they got absolutely nothing for it. And the second thing I wanted to say is that we as the black community, and this is just both northern, southern blacks all over, we have to become more sophisticated in the game, and we need to learn how to criticize our people in public. And, you know, there should have been a PAC or something when Clyburn endorsed Joe Biden, and someone, a black PAC, other black surrogates that should have stood up and said, okay, Mr. Clyburn, you are endorsing Mr. Biden, but what have you done for your people? What has Biden done for the people? And, you know, that's pretty much all I have to say. A lot of people commented on some of the other things that I agreed with. And the last thing I want to say, Tim, is that I'm an undecided voter. I haven't decided to vote for Bernie. I'm just keeping, you know, my ears open, and I'm not for Biden. And I'm just listening to all sides, and I love your show, and you have a good night, sir.
Thank you so much for the phone call. And good point. And I'm going to tell you something. And I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, but I hope you call again, first-time caller. When I started this show around politics, because in the beginning, I didn't know who Bernie was. I wasn't talking about Bernie back in 2015. I'm sorry, 2014. When I started talking about politics, discussing politics, I had only one focus, and this is what I would tell everyone. My goal is to get black people to stop giving away their vote and to get something for their vote. Now, I was not someone saying, we got to go Republican and just give away our vote to them because we've been giving our vote to Democrats. That don't even make sense. Well, you've been giving your vote away to the Democrats without getting anything, so give it over here and don't get anything. It's a zero-sum game. So I totally relate to what you're saying, and it is part of what drives me as well. But I will say this. There are some people getting something for the vote going to Biden. And that's something for themselves. As in, Jim Clyburn gets something for his vote or something for his support. He gets to be a gatekeeper of black folks. Being the snake charmer, so to speak, being the Pied Piper, so to speak, of black folks. That plays a premium to Jim Clyburn and Jim Clyburn's family and those around him who matriculate behind him. It pays very well to be the Negro whisperer. Okay? Let's be clear about that. Jim Clyburn has taken over $1 million from pharmaceutical companies over the last decade. He takes more money from pharmaceutical companies than any other member of Congress. Then we say, well, there's the people in the South say, we don't want no handouts because there's always strings attached. Yeah, and Clyburn's got a bunch of strings attached to himself. Meanwhile, he tell you, you don't need no handout. We don't need no Bernie Sanders handout. Meanwhile, the corporations get handouts every year. It's called subsidies. How does Amazon pay less in taxes than you? So, I agree with you. The problem that we have is too many people are looking for jobs. And they're willing to do whatever and say whatever, my friend, sister, in order to get money, to get a job, to keep a job in media business, in the realm of media. I know because I'm in it now. I see it all the time. There are more people upset that Bloomberg left than that he started running because they were getting a paycheck under Bloomberg, a big fat paycheck. So I'm going to next call, but thank you for your thoughts. And, an open mind is all I ask for, sister. I follow and I support Bernie Sanders because of policy, because of what we do get from Bernie, what he's projecting to fight for. the policies that he has been championing for the last 30 years. That's why I support Bernie. It's not his tie. It's not his haircut. It's not he hung out with Stevie Wonder or he plays the sax or none of these other weird personal reasons that other people have. That's nice if Bernie plays the sax or if he's got a good sense of humor or whatever, that his cousin is Larry David. That's great. That's nice. But that's not why I support him. I support him because of what I think he will deliver for people that need it. Next call. 619. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black. This is Jimmy Mack from San Diego. How you doing?
What's up, Jay? What's going on? And what's your comment?
Man, it has been one hell of a week, brother, and I got to tell you, I've been waiting like a minute to talk, man. Your phone line is on fire, and everybody is like really coming with the realness. But what I really wanted to say, man, is people forget that Jim Clyburn, he was the kingmaker back in 2008 after Hillary cried in New Hampshire. When we got down to South Carolina, yeah, Jim Clyburn waited to the last minute to, throw that little pixie dust on Barack Obama, and ding, there you go. All the black people kind of jumped on it. He got that official stamp. So it's nothing new for Clyburn. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's been a long week in terms of like black people having this, generational conversation in terms of, what Bernie's, for and what he's supposed to do, and, Joe Biden is that and the third. But really, man, people just have to wake up. And I've been having conversations with my mom's friends, all the baby boomers, and, they all hate Bernie and love Biden because Obama is the next thing, to Jesus and stuff like that. But I'm a firm person like you, man. It's all about the policy. I don't care if Bernie Sanders look like a Smurf, man. His policies can help people. They can help black people. They can help people of all different colors and ethnicities, which is what people need. They say the average income for most 60% of Americans is $40,000. People need as much help as they can get, man. And so I appreciate your show, man. And I just want to say, man, I appreciate being a part of the Wolfpack.
Man, thank you for your phone call, man. And please keep having those conversations with your parents and their friends, man. And please keep on just standing fast in what you believe, brother. And that's it. That's all, man. Like, I don't know why people think that they should have to live so hard in the richest country in the history of countries. I don't know why people think it's okay for them to have so little, man. It's just so disappointing that people accept that they accept that they can be. We got people in Alabama, man, who don't have sewer systems that work. We got kids getting all types of diseases that you get in third world countries, man. Third world country diseases. Children playing in feces in their backyards. We got unclean water. We got horrible water. We hear people talk about Flint. Flint don't even have the worst water in the country. There are other places with water on par or worse than Flint. People you think that's okay? Why do you pay taxes if we can't live decently? Once upon a time, you can't leave it up to corporations to do the right thing. Once upon a time, these corporations had little kids working in factories. Once upon a time, we had truck drivers working 24, 36 hours, and if you complained, you got fired. I mean, we had to fight for everything that we have in this country that's of any decent life expectancy, any decent treatment on the job, any right. We had to fight for it. The fight ain't over. All right, we'll go next call, man. Thank you so much. 920, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey.
Hey.
Am I on?
You're on, yes.
Hey there, Tim. You're doing a great job. And I'm a first-time caller.
Thank you.
I'm from Wisconsin. I'm way up in the sticks. I'm almost 60 years old. And thank God Elizabeth Warren is gone. She can go to the freaking half-off bin with Hillary. You know, we know who these people are now. They're all showing themselves. We got to burn this shit down. We got to figure out how to get around the mainstream media and get the important stuff out to the voters. This is ridiculous. They're all complicit. And the DNC, they're what the hell? What is their end game? They're holding up a cardboard cutout of a frickin' candidate that's got so much bullshit attached to him, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody is frickin' talking about it. What is this? What is this? We need to burn it down and start it over.
Wow.
You know, nobody's getting anything. The only people that are getting anything are the really, really rich people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's about all I got to say.
Well, absolutely, I agree with you. Thank you so much, sister. I appreciate it from Wisconsin.
You bet. Hang in there.
You hang in there too. I love it, man. Love your fire, your energy here, and I agree with you 100% that the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poor, and we got to fight back. And you're right. Biden is a cutout character. These people, there needs to be more conversations about what he really stands for. 831, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
My name is Thomas Tim Black, and I want to tell you something, brother. You know when you hear a kind of laugh that heals every soul in your body. That's the kind of laughs I get listening to you, Tim, and it's good.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Tim Black, I studied with a man who died a year ago, September, at 95 years of age. I studied with him for 25 years, and he didn't speak for 50 or 60 years. He taught us on a chalkboard, and he says, leaders who do not create leaders are not real leaders. And Tim Black, you create leaders.
Wow.
You inspire me. I'm 70 years old, and I got a lot of fire, and you stoke it. And so I'll just leave all that praise at that point for now. I just want to say I won't vote for Joe Biden if he's the candidate. I won't do it. I'm sorry. I will not vote for Joe Biden. And I think the best scenario that we could have right now is if Tulsi Gabbard threw in the hat and Bernie Sanders took Tulsi Gabbard as his vice president. And Tulsi Gabbard has a lot of good things to say. She's young. She needs some elders to advise her. And if Bernie took her as vice president, she would get the audience that she doesn't have now because the media won't give her an audience. And I think Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie Sanders could be an excellent, unbeatable combination. And I think we could have 16 years of two truthful candidates in our White House. That's all I got to say.
Wow. All right, brother. Well, thank you for the kind words, of course, and thank you for your insight there. Thomas, I can't agree. I think the choice is Nina Turner, not just because she earned it, because she has 5 years of toiling and working around the clock. And I saw her in South Carolina. Her voice sounded like Froggy from the Little Rascals. Remember Froggy? Remember that? Well, that was her because she had just done 3 or 4 rallies in the last 18 hours. I attended 3 of them. So, it's not just that. It's the fact that there are people who, when they see and hear Nina Turner, you ain't got to worry about them turning out to vote for Bernie Sanders. He had a Latino vote, the black vote, and the working class vote, and we could call this a wrap. And Trump can't deal with that. Forget Biden. Trump can't deal with it. It's a game over. Game over. But I'm going to go to the next call. 425. You're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Hey, 425.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Am I on?
That's you.
Oh, well, I didn't hear the beat. Damn it. I'm so glad I got a chance to get on. This is Sin from Washington State again. And I wanted to touch on something of real importance here that a lot of people seem to be actually kind of missing or overlooking somehow. And that is that Biden has ran for president, 2 or 3 times now?
Yes.
And in each case, every time that he ran, he dropped out. And what made him drop out was that there were things in his past that scandals or whatnot, that they started to really nail him on. And by doing this, he just couldn't handle it, and he backed out. He dropped out of the race. Well, now here's the thing now. His real Achilles heel is his son, Hunter Biden. Now keep that in mind, Hunter Biden, because on today's news, I see where Trump is going after Hunter Biden through the Senate, and Romney, who was the outie, he was out as far as the trial for Trump. He was the one man standing out. Well, Romney will support GOP effort to investigate Biden. This means that they're really going to be going and digging this up, and this is what Trump knew all along. He got it from all of his insiders and whatnot. There's one thing if you want to go after Biden, and we know how to get to him. Now, Biden is in a state where he's just mentally not there. He's totally weak. He can't think straight. I think that actually his wife pushing on him to stay in this race and being up there, a lot of people have pointed out elder abuse. And it really is, in fact. She should have been by his side and said, honey, I don't think that this is going to work and you need to bow out. But she keeps pushing him on. But I think that's what's gonna happen. I think we're going to see something happen as far as Biden. We might get to a certain point, and Biden is just going to back out because he's so concerned about Hunter Biden and anything involving the Ukraine. And another thing, too, is I just heard, too, which is very important. He is foregoing a lot of outings, a lot of rallies where he's going to be out in the public because so many people are pointing out his irrational behavior and his mental instability. So that's another thing, too, that's a key issue. I don't think Biden, we might come down to a point where there's only one guy standing, and that's going to be Bernie Sanders.
This is true. Look, thank you for the phone call. We're running out of time, but I appreciate you for your phone call and great points. And you know what? I agree with you. I know that Trump's going to use that if he gets the opportunity to. Let's hope he does it. 360, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Well, this is Ramona from Washington State.
Hey, Ramona. What's on your mind?
Hey. Well, I wanted to once again thank you for your very salient analysis of Joe Biden's win throughout the South. That shouldn't have surprised anybody. And also that those are dead red states, and I don't know how that's going to help us in the general. But other than that, I'm here in Washington State, and so we have mail-in, and unfortunately they planned it, meaning the DNC, to leave Elizabeth Warren in, and all the ones that some of the other more liberal type Democrats here would have voted for her, and now are probably feeling the burn because they have a candidate that dropped out. Anyway, other than that, I just want to thank you for being here and for bringing us together as a community. Appreciate that.
Well, thank you, sister, for the phone call. I appreciate you, and the community's made of everyone, and that includes you, so thank you. I have an international call with a 496 number. Hey, international call. You're live.
Yo, what's good, fam?
Hey, what's going on?
You know I've been on the line like everybody else like for 1,000 hours, but I just wanted to give a shout out because it's hard to find people. You know, you look in the mirror wherever you're at in the world, it's hard to find your folks, and that's why I watch your show. But anyway, I got a list of shit from other people I just want to shout out right quick. That Jim Claiborne. It's frustrating, but I wouldn't worry about it. You know how that Willie Lynch shit works. You can't do nothing about it. It's hard, but you can't do nothing about it.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Oh. Oh. All right, guys. Yo, my international caller, brother, fam, I'm sorry about that, man. Nothing I can do about it. Definitely wasn't me. It's this phone system. We get 3 hours on the phone line. It sounds like a long time. Folks, I want you to know I had about 10 more calls in the queue. We were already up to 30, 40, almost 40 calls. Typically, we do 20. So the show is growing. We're gonna have to up the ante and add another hour. So there's never unlimited on this phone line, but I can go to one more hour, right? So maybe we need to do that. Maybe I need to do that because this is becoming. It's just getting too big. It's too much love, you guys. It's too much information, and too many people want to weigh in. So that's what we can do. We can up the ante. We can add one more additional hour. It'll be a little harder for me to do it because it's a marathon now. What's it, 2 o'clock in the morning? It's 2 o'clock in the morning where I'm at. But 11, 12, 1, 2, yeah, 3 hours. So there you go. There was your 3 hours, 11 to 2:10. But we can do it, guys. We can go one more hour. I want this long. We can do one more hour. Wow. I hate when that happens, guys, because I know how long you were on the phone, and there are people who didn't get to say anything, who are still on the line. So I want to thank you all for calling in. This is why we try to condense it. This is why I try not to answer too many questions, because I get to talking too much, and we try to shorten it and squeeze it in to get as many people in as possible, because there's nothing I hate more. Like, to me, it's an accomplishment to get through all my phone calls. But at some point, you got to say, I need more phone time. Ain't gonna be no way I'm gonna get through all these phone calls. So we're gonna need more phone time. So that's what I'll have to do, because we're just growing. New people are joining the show every day. So thank you all for being here. Now let me go to Super Chats, guys. If you're on the phone line, if you go to Super Chat and make some form of donation, I'll see your comment and I'll read your comment. So let's do that. If you're on the phone, if you can get to the computer, go to us on YouTube and do a Super Chat for a couple bucks or whatever you got, and I will read your comment. How about that? Okay? That's the best I can do, guys. So sorry. So sorry about that. I hate when that happens. God, I'm trying to. Okay, so let me go down to Super Chat and see what we got. I was hoping I could read it on my phone, but it's too crazy. It's too crazy, guys. It's too crazy. All right, so here we go at the top. Starting from the top of our Super Chat. This is one reason why I do this at the end. I used to try to do it in the middle, but then it wastes phone time. What's up, Kenneth Murray became a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Thank you, Kenneth. Same thing to Tanya A. Thank you for becoming a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. We appreciate you. What's up, Craig? Thank you for your donation. What's up, Riley? Coffee scammers. What the fuck? Like Mine Black. What's up, Riley? I appreciate you. Todd Jersey, thank you for contributing to the show. Same thing with Fletcher Lenz. Thank you for sticking up for Tulsi Johnson. Hey, rules are rules, right? I would never cheat Tulsi. I would never cheat her. I don't want to cheat anybody out of anything. I don't think it's right. If she played by the rules, she should benefit from still being in. Hey, running for president is hard work, and she put the work in. Thomas Cruz. Message retracted. But thank you, Tom. Maybe we answered it. Mike Giamata. Thank you, Mike. With snakes. Maker of Things. Warns Yusuf they publish addresses. Echoes in earlier tweets trying to smear us with no receipts. She was behind that. I tried to accept Warren after the drop, but that interview is proof of product. Well, thank you, Maker of Things. And you're right. I don't even know what she's speaking of. Of course, I never condone doxing someone. You know him as Matt. You know him as Matt. Okay. If Bernie doesn't get the nomination, we need to make sure Shahid Buttar takes Pelosi's seat. That will be a silver lining to all the DNC BS. And Tony DeMio. Tim, you're hilarious. Thank you. Now, thank you, Tony. What's up? No time. I've honestly thought about ending it all over this. I hate this world. And people are so stupid to buy into this BS Warren is saying about Sanders' online supporters. There is no hope. People are that stupid, Johnson, but don't leave. We need you. Seriously. Don't leave. We need you. DeJelf 7. I'm on a hunger strike right now to protest the treatment of Tulsi Gabbard. Please join me. We have to take over the conversation by any means necessary. What's up, DeJelf? I need to go on a hunger strike basically just because I need to lose weight. But if you got a reason, if you want to make Tulsi Gabbard be a reason for you to cut down on some pounds, fine. Just know that's not going to change the DNC. You want to help Tulsi? Go to her website, find out how you can. Turbog. It's all manufactured gaslighting, Johnson. I agree with that, brother. R.H. Moore Jr. Tim, can you go on MSM and get their asses, set their asses straight, please? They won't have me. I think maybe Ari might have me at some point. R.A., what's up, Ari Melba? What's up, brother? It's your man, Tim Black. You know you watch my stuff, Ari. You told me you did. Jenna says, could not have said it better. Clearly doesn't talk to trans women. The things I get called. She has no idea how insulting she is. Right? Do you realize I have a filter that you guys don't see? A filter on YouTube to catch all the N-words I got or get? You have no idea. Elizabeth lives in she's like a piece of porcelain glass. Okay? She can't deal with the real world. And she wants to deal with Trump, who is a bull in a china shop. It ain't going to happen, Johnson. Pat Anderson, love your smart talk and your jazz piano. Thank you, Pat. No Biden said 77, Marshflower 15. Riley gave again, said, embarrass me. I don't know what this is. A snake plus a salad plus a book plus a something, a sunshine, and plus a shoe plus a milk or a drinker. I don't know. What's going on? Proletarian Pizza. Keep it up. Well, thank you, Proletarian Pizza. Alicia says, my mom rolls her eyes at my passion for politics, but I got her to watch some of Biden's lies and gas on YouTube. What'd she say? What'd she say? Alicia, YouTube, she was blown away. She had no idea the deception of the mainstream media is clearer than ever. Hashtag TBTV. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. At least your mom sees the light. Maybe she'll tell a couple of friends. What's up, dude, man? He called Joe out in a Detroit rally today. Who did? Who called Joe out? Oh, Bernie did. See, that's what I'm talking about. I will find the clip. I'll do a video over the weekend. Bernie tearing in Joe on YouTube ads. Rallies now. Whoop, boop, 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 boop. Look. He's responding. He's playing like it's the fourth quarter. He's responding. What's up, people? Yeah, Rebecca, we doing it. Craig says, no, Joe, no, Joe. Thank you, Craig. Jenna says, they would take Trump over Bernie. Yeah, looks that way, don't it, Jenna? Princess Queen, did y'all see Simone tackle that protester? I did. I talked about that. Princess, I talked about that in an earlier video on a show. I wonder if I made a separate video about it. I talked about it in a live stream. Boy, she grabbed that lady and dragged her back into the future. She dragged her down to the Waffle House. Princess Queen says, Clyburn voted for the crime bill. He's no friend of black people. Go back and look at the interviews. He has no remorse at all. Blacks lined right up behind him. Dude, man, Bernie has a Fox Town Hall on Monday the 14th. What? Black Fit 508. Tim makes this call a clip. This is hilarious. Which one? Which call? Dude, man, I got the date wrong. Fox Town Hall is March 9th. March 9th. Thank you, my friend. Extropian. I donated to Bernie. Now I'm donating to Tim. The time is now to support the fight. Thank you. Extropian. Thrasher All In says, check out White House Conference on Mental Health 2013 Biden speech. Not a doctor, but brain surgery in 80 sounds more alarming than a heart stent in 2019. Jason, what do you think of Bernie saying he is Robin Hood? I am taken from the rich to get to help the poor when the media says he's a socialist. What do I think? What do I think? What do I think? I think he needs to make it more about justice. Yeah, make it more about justice, not the Robin Hood thing. Make it more about, it's just what should be done. It's just what's right. And he needs to frame socialism, democratic socialism, similar to a fire station or a police force. These things are paid for by the state, but they're part of a functioning society so that people can live a decent life. Public schools also could be put in that equation. Josephine Pinali, Priaruli. We need no parties, just vote for the person, no more teams. They use it to divide us. True. Thrash All In, reach people with art. Tim Black Art Auction, open mic. I do it. I'm down, let's do it. Cordell West need to turn out, rest my case. Put Murder. Thank you, Put Murder. Yeah, two of my favorites. David, what's up, David? Thank you, Tim. I heard Hillary Rosen apologize. She need to apologize. It sounded like a fake apology, the last one I heard, though. Freedom Tribe, thank you, Freedom. I appreciate you. Who's this? Jamaican 347 says, the DNC released rules on Friday so people blew off steam over the weekend, just like a corporate firing. Progressive YouTubers should support Let Tulsi debate as it will benefit Bernie and Tulsi significantly. Sean says the DNC has to see what we see with Joe Biden's mental decline. That means they want Trump to win. There's no other possibility in my mind. Thoughts? Yeah, they probably do. Yeah, I think they would prefer, I think their bosses would prefer Trump win over Bernie. I believe that. But I don't think that stands for everybody in media. I think the bosses who own the corporations would rather see, most of them, not all of them, most of them would rather see Trump than Bernie. And I think the workers are just being worker bees. The majority of them. Okay? Jimmy Adams says, young people, it's not good enough just to go to a rally and yell, scream. You must vote. That's truth. What did Obama say? Don't boo, vote. Don't boo, vote. Don't boo, vote. Got to get out there and vote for it. Thomas Milkerick, thank you for joining, Thomas. Becky Bosox. What'd Becky say? Becky! Let me find Becky at the top here, Becky. Jamaica. I'm sorry, Becky, I can't find your comment, Becky. Let me see. Becky Bosox is a frequent contributor to the show. Becky. Hold up, a lot of people are cut off here. Why are so many people cut off? Yeah, that's today, right? Yeah. Jimmy Adams says, you're doing a great job, Johnson. Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate you, Johnson. Okay, somehow I missed that comment. Okay. Becky Bosakes, here we go. Facebook is tripping and kicking people off the show. Really? She said Facebook is tripping. Hey, Becky, are people getting kicked off? Is it a moderator or is there something going on with the Facebook app? I think you're saying it's Facebook apps doing it. Because my moderators kicking people off the show. Really? I can't really find it, guys. I can't. I'm unable to find the live show or the chat. The window closed on me. I see it's running, and there are people watching, but that's all I got. So I'm sorry about that, but I can't tell. Okay? Cannot tell. Well, anyway, guys, I want everybody to know that I enjoyed doing this show very much. I really appreciate the fact that you guys call in, that you guys care about the show, that you care about what I do, that we're building a community. We're getting stronger. We got one of those good problems. We need phone lines longer. We need more phone lines. So I'm gonna get us more phone lines, guys. Fridays is for the people. Everything I do is for the people. But Friday, Freedom Friday, guys, is all about your voice. So I've been doing the phone line shows since like 2014, and we're gonna keep doing it. So we're gonna increase the phone lines. I've never had to increase it to 4 hours before. So just know we are growing. So I got your back. Thank you for having my back. Become a member of the Tim Black Show. Go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Join there. Also text Cornbread to the code 21,000 to join my VIP text group where you'll be included in raffles to win free stuff, and you'll get updates to all the cool stuff we do. What else? That's it. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, Real Tim Black. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Sprinkle some facts on them. Don't argue with people. Have a safe weekend. It's going to be warm here. That's kind of scary, but it's also good. Enjoy the weather. Call up a friend and patch it up, or an ex-friend or somebody you had a beef with. Call them up and clear the air. Some of you guys are mad at people. You don't remember why you're mad at them. So just let it go. Like, it takes more work to frown than it does to smile, so you might as well smile, Johnson. And let's go out here and get it done. Don't have a bad weekend. We can turn this thing around. We are turning this thing around. Joe Biden don't want no parts of us. I said Joe Biden doesn't want any parts of us, okay? We his worst nightmare. An informed, active opposition. I got number love for you. I'll see you on the next one. Becky, Facebook tripping. Becky said, I'm sorry my call was too long. I'm sober. Becky tripping. Thank you, Becky. It's all good. It's all good. Look, it's Friday night. It's 2 in the morning. It's insane the brothers up doing a show at 2 in the morning. But you know what? The Tim Black Wolfpack, we ain't wrapped too tight. We go for what we go for. We don't play games. We are diehards here. We in it to win it here. So that's what makes us different. That's one of the things that makes us different. All right, sisters. All right, brothers. All right, Johnsons. We're all Johnson. And with that, I'll see you on the next one. You want yourself your own personal No Joe button? All you got to do is send me your address. Send it to Tim at TimBlackTV.com, and I'll send you a No Joe button for free. Because no Joe. No Joe. By popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious. They are revolutionary. And they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack. If you want political commentary that is real, insightful, honest, true, Bernie, progressive, you need to come to my channel today, subscribe, and you will get that. I'm Tim Black. I support you. I got your back. We are the voice of the people. Feel the burn. See you there. Johnson. Hair Rain Dog, Nina Turner must be the VP. She is her own firebrand. If she is VP and they try some JFK crap, watch out. Jimmy Adams said, cool. Wow, man, that was a harsh thing to say, Hair Rain Dog. Damn, bro. Come on, man. God, what are you brother? Sister. Her. Good gracious. Mike Giamatra said, Wolfpack. Thank you, Mike. Dave, it's time for a new party, regardless of who wins. I agree with that. We got to build small to take a decade or two to get that done. It's crazy. All right, guys, I'm done. Love you. See you on the next one.